Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are answering your YouTube questions. But first, if you are watching this on the replay, I want to let you know that we do put timestamps down into the video description where you can jump around to see the different questions that were asked during the stream. You can also just sit back and learn a ton about YouTube. If you're somebody that's here right now, I recommend that if you have a question, that you go ahead and you get it into the forum now, because right now I just have 2 questions in there. So if you have a question, make sure that you go ahead and get it into the forum so that we can get it answered here on the stream today. Because if you get it in there now as an early bird, it will get answered here on the stream today. And when I say we are answering your YouTube questions, I mean myself and my brother from the same mother, D. D, what's happening?
What is going on? Just to let everybody know what just happened here. We're getting ready to go live. And he's like, it's go time. And I said, give me a second. He said, it's too late. Mm-hmm. I had everything ready to go, but I forgot to check the audio source.
Oh, okay.
StreamYard has this weird little thing that every now and then the audio source will just switch back to the device and not the Rodecaster. The second you opened your mouth, I was changing the audio source to the Rodecaster.
Okay.
So it's possible the first 2 seconds of this stream,
we're a little bit off.
You might not have any audio.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Possibly.
All right.
But that's how the stream has started.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Hope you've had a great week. Mm-hmm. Our week was fantastic.
It was, absolutely.
Yep.
So a couple of things. First off, just what's up, JJ? Hope you're doing great. Creator Classroom, what's going on? Hope you're doing awesome.
Hey.
Monique, nice to see you in here.
Hey.
Cafe Fit, nice to see you as well. Tango in the kitchen, hope that you are doing awesome. Amy Johnson, how you doing? So really quick, just as a heads up for those of you that are channel members, at the end of this stream, I've got a link to it down in the video description already. But when we still have about 30 minutes left on the normal time, we're switching this over to members. But instead of having it go this stream that you're watching right now into members, we're actually moving it over to a completely different stream. So the link to that is going to be down in the video description, but we're going to let you know, we're going to remind you of that before we actually make that switch. So just wanted to give you the heads up there. Hey, what's up? What's going on, Jerry? Hope you're doing great, man. A handful of things to talk about today. So the very first things are the YouTube news. So if you have been waiting for the title A/B testing feature, they are now rolling that out globally to all content creators. So that will apply to you if you have advanced features enabled.
How does it work?
So basically how the title A/B testing feature works is, in the past you had just the thumbnail testing feature, which is awesome. And with the thumbnail testing feature, you could upload up to 3 different thumbnails, and then YouTube would, when they're showing your videos to people all over the platform, they would let you know which one of those thumbnails generated the most watch time, essentially. So as a part of that, or the watch time share, so as a part of that, now they have the title option. So now you can experiment with different ways to completely present your content and everything about the packaging. So if you're just trying to figure out thumbnails, you can make those tests. If you're trying to figure out titles, then you can run the same thumbnail and then have all your titles be different. But it just opens you up now to have a lot more options and different ways that you can test to try to understand what people respond to around your content, which is great. So as a part of this, what's up, Doug? Beanie Draws, what's going on? Stanley, nice to see you in here. So Silver Fox, what's up? Hope you're doing awesome. So yeah, so when it comes to this particular feature, since they're rolling it out globally, you should have it. And if you don't have it now, you'll have it very soon because they're in the process of rolling this one out. In addition to that, I don't know if you guys saw the YouTube recap, but they do have that coming out as well. This isn't really a creator focused thing, but as a viewer, this was kind of fun. So so yeah, so D just said he wants to talk about it. So let's talk about it real quick.
Show of hands. Just type in yes or no. Was the YouTube recap accurate for you? Just type in yes or no. When you open up the YouTube recap and you went through it, did it accurately identify the channels that you watch the most? I don't know what channel they were looking at when they were like, this is your recap. Yep. Because that was not anywhere near accurate for me. Yeah,
mine there were some things that it got and then other things that it didn't get. So yeah, so it definitely wasn't perfect on my end either. But it was just interesting to see in terms of how they were presenting the information. Some of the things they did nail. Like for example, there's a music channel that I listen to like all the time, and then there's one that I've listened to, but not even remotely close to as much as the other one. But it put that one up higher on the list in terms of the channels that I'm engaging with the most. So definitely not 100% accurate.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun though, right? It's a fun fun feature for sure.
Hey, new channel member.
Hey, what's going on? Laugh lines and life lessons. Hope that you're doing great. So really quick, if you are on Facebook, we have a Facebook group called, if you go to nimenvip.com, it's going to redirect you to that Facebook group. And if you fill out the information there, then we can let you into that Facebook group after the stream is complete today. We also have a Discord. If you are somebody that uses Discord, then you will also get access to that. So just as a heads up, when it comes to preferences, so if you have questions to ask, I recommend that you do those over on Discord, because we'll see them in Facebook too. But over on Discord, everything is just contained and threaded, and all of that is just better organized. So because of that, I would definitely make sure if you have specific questions that you do ask them over on Discord, and then we will get you covered over there. But there's another question here that I had on the screen.
What was it?
You took it down here. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for it again. I found it. JJ the Lonely Bull in Asia says, why does YouTube use watch time rather than CTR for A/B testing? So everything is included, but here's the thing. The reason that they lean on watch time share is the priority is because if you have a high click-through rate on your video, that doesn't necessarily mean that the viewer is enjoying the content. So what YouTube's goal is to create an experience for their users, not us, but the viewers of YouTube. It's to create an experience for them that they are the most satisfied with, so that they'll keep coming back to YouTube. And when they are using the watch time, what that shows is if somebody clicks on your video and then they watch it for a longer period of time, that means that you've set the proper expectation for that viewer. So the likelihood of that viewer having a satisfactory experience, that's a way that they can identify that. So instead of just saying click-through rate, which says a lot for the packaging of the video, that doesn't say too much about are the viewers actually satisfied with that experience that they had. But when it comes to the watch time share, that's telling YouTube, okay, I got people to click on the video and they watched it for a longer period of time, which means that I'm better meeting those expectations that they had when they clicked on the video. So when it comes to, YouTube leaning on the watch time, that's why. That's the same exact reason. Hey, Shark Trapper, what's up, man? Hey. That's the same exact reason that YouTube switched to watch time back in 2012 as one of the primary metrics that they focus on when it comes to video performance, because of clickbait and all that stuff and how out of control it was, before they did that. So back in the day, people used to put all kinds of crazy stuff in their thumbnails just to get people to click on the videos because everything was based on people clicking. And because of that, what happened is it started creating this bad experience on YouTube. And I'm sure if you've been watching YouTube for, if you're watching YouTube at that time, you experienced it to where, you'd click on a video expecting one thing and then you're getting like this whole different thing, right? So they fixed the problem there, and then they basically just transferred that same concept into this particular tool.
Good answer.
And really quick, we had a few more members come in here. So we have...
You have more?
A-Line Tech Reviews and Diane Dobson. Hey, what's going on, Diane? So right here for you guys too, just in case you need the info. Same thing, go to nimenvip.com if you're interested in the Facebook group. And then that will also get you access to the Discord as well.
You have a super chat as well.
Super chat.
Scroll up for that. I didn't see that one. Give me one
Stoic
second.
Creative.
Oh, yeah, I see it there. Hey, thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate that, Stoic Creative. It's not showing in the starred list in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, interesting. All right.
Next.
Hey, Janae, what's up, man? Nice to see you in here. Hope you're doing great. All right. So, hey, Dana Patel in the house also. What is up? Hope that you are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you're doing great. Yeah, they're factoring in tons of stuff. But in terms of the A/B testing tool, that's just one of the ways that that they are gauging viewer satisfaction. So let's see here. So let's go ahead and get into some questions here. Oh, actually, did I get through the news? Oh, yeah, I didn't even finish the news. Oh. Okay, so yeah, I just got sidetracked on answering that question. Okay,
it's going to be one of those streams.
Yeah. So another thing on the YouTube news side, because we started talking about the recap, that's kind of where we went off base there. They also have new holiday gifts for vertical live streams. So if you are somebody that does vertical live streams, then if somebody does donate those gifts to you, then you get like little additional animations and stuff, which is cool. But those are going to go away March 20th. So, plenty of time for people to use those. In addition to that, I do want to let you know.
They're going to sunset them?
Yes.
So they didn't work out?
Well, no. They're fine. They just released them, and then they're going to pull them down because they're just holiday-related stuff.
Just holidays only?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so in addition to that, I do want to let you know also that we have 2 days left on our promotion that we're running for Tuber School, which is a school for YouTubers that Dee and I are putting together, or that have put together, to help you learn how to grow, make money, and make an impact on YouTube. So you can check the information for that out at tuberschool.com. And just as a heads up, right now, as part of that promotion, we are actually running half price. So because of that, if this is something that you are interested in and you want to learn with us at a deeper level, this is going to be the place to do it. It's funny, I just put in Tuber Tools. Hold on.
I've got it on top of your...
There we go. So if you're wanting to learn at a deeper level, like this is the opportunity to do it. You're going to get a substantial discount. And in addition to that, we're going to be very hands-on anyway, but especially, with this first group that's coming in there. So if that's something that you're interested in, again, we've got 2 days left on that before the price goes up. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and get over to tuberschool.com and check that out.
Paul Peck is in the house, ladies
Hey, what's up, Paul?
It has been a minute.
It has been a minute. I hope you're doing great, Paul.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing great, man. It's great.
And
Gregor Brown says, is it more for beginners? No. So when it comes to this, we actually, like, if you are somebody that is, trying to get your first 500 subscribers on your YouTube channel, it's probably not going to be the best fit because you're probably, trying to just figure out trying to figure out what your channel's about, stuff like that. We're helping with that stuff too. But in terms of the people that, or the information that's going to be shared in there, it'll help creators of all sizes, but we prefer if you have some type of experience. And the reason for that is because of consistency and being able to apply the information and those sorts of things. Because when we're sharing information with you, if you haven't even figured out okay, I'm going to publish videos on a regular basis, then in that case, you won't be able to apply the things that, that we're talking about. So because of that, we're looking for people that are willing to work in terms of on their channels. And we are looking for people that, that have enough experience to where they can take the information and do something with that information. So, yeah, but you can see more information on that at tuberschool.com. So now we're going to get into the questions. And just as a quick reminder, if you are just joining the stream, we have a form that is down in the description of the live stream right now where you can get your questions answered. If you are watching this somewhere else, like on Twitter or LinkedIn or something, you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and it's going to redirect you to that same exact form. You can go ahead and get your questions in here. And as a heads up, when it comes to the questions, you can ask a question if you want. You can ask for feedback on your channel if you want. We are here to help you out there. So because of that, anything that you're trying to figure out, we will try to help. And one more thing before we get into that, Dee, if you will go wide.
Speak for yourself.
Right here.
The we stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? So one additional thing before we get into the questions here is I do want to let you know also that this stream is brought to you by Opus Clip. When it comes to Opus Clip, they help you quickly get clips out of your content so that you can publish it to multiple platforms, including YouTube, in just a few clicks. It's a great way to expand your reach if you're wanting to publish to other platforms or publish more, but you don't have the time to do it. Opus Clip is a great solution for that. So you can go to opusclip.com for that, or if you want to hook me up with an affiliate commission for sending you over there, you can go to tryopusnow.com. But that's an awesome tool, by the way, if you haven't tried that yet for getting more content out.
And are you redirecting to them when this is over? I think Roberto's going live over on the Opus Clip channel.
I am actually. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I have redirected from there as well.
There you go.
So the very first question that we have here is from Xavier Ray. Xavier Ray, they upload 1 time per week or more. They have been making videos for 1 year or more. The type of channel is gaming, live streams, and Let's Plays. The goal of the channel is to quit their job and be a full-time YouTuber. And the question is, hey guys, I'm in the middle of a charity campaign with a charity. Everything is set up on Tiltify. And the organization Let's see here.
Tiltify.
I'm streaming right now to Twitch. I was wondering if there's anything that I need to do legally in order to stream to YouTube too. I've only done charity streams on Twitch, so I'm pretty new to doing this on YouTube. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. I'm in California, by the way.
Charity stream.
Yeah, so when it comes to charity streams, YouTube actually has some stuff on the back end where if that charity is connected to YouTube in some way, you can actually search for it and connect to it. So then people can donate, and they can donate directly through it, right through YouTube. So you have that type of option as well. But if you did want to stream on YouTube, you can do charity streams on YouTube. Just let people know in the video description what the charity is. Let people know, of course, where they can donate. And in addition to that, also let people know some additional information in terms of when you plan to pay, the money to the charity, how the money's collected, like those types of things can also be helpful. Because when it comes to things like that, you giving YouTube context is really important. So because of that, just adding those types of details to your video description is important. If you're doing giveaways, they have very specific things that you need to add. But when it comes to charity streams, it's perfectly fine to do charity streams. I would just add that information in terms of what the charity is, why it is that you're doing it, and when when you're going to be passing that money on to the charity.
I don't know,
which might be on the page that you're sending them to.
I don't know if
that information needs to be
I don't
there.
know if the state of California has any additional things that you need to do for that.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I would probably spend a few minutes on Google looking in to see what your state, if there's any requirements necessary for California.
Yeah.
And California has some weird laws about everything.
They
So
do.
yeah, it's worth. I couldn't tell you what's happening in California, but it's worth looking into yourself on that one.
American English, Brent, it's actually yearly. So, but for the people that get in now for Tuber School, for the people that get in now, you're locked into that. Like as
price
long as you want to be a
change.
part of it, you're locked into that 50% discount. So, like if you're thinking about it, like now's the time that you would want to get in on that. If you're wanting to save the money also. So next up on the list here, we've got JJ the Lonely Bull in Asia. So does bi-weekly content. It's travel content. The question is, I want to do a review of my favorite Christmas songs during one of my live streams. I would only play audio snippets from each songs. What issues will I have with copyrights? Will my channel be in danger of getting demonetized or just get AdSense money from the stream? Also, if viewers send me super chats, will I lose that money also? D, this is your department.
Yeah, if you are using any music that you don't have license to use or is not Creative Commons listed, you do run the risk, a very high risk of losing monetization for the particular videos that you use them in. Even if you use snippets. So if you're using Christmas songs and you don't have the rights to use them, then if you're playing them for any amount of time, I mean, yeah, you technically might get away with a second here or there, but I wouldn't run that risk because they can get your video for a copyright claim. Technically, they could strike you, but that's unlikely for music.
Yeah.
It's usually a copyright claim where they would take monetization from that video specifically. They're not going to take it from your super chats, but they will take it from the video, the ad revenue that you would earn from that video, not channel wide for that video.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to music in general, it's one of those things where, yeah, you can use it if you want, if you're okay with losing monetization or taking the risk. But as a general rule, if you don't have a license to use the music, I would spend the extra time trying to find out where you can get a license to use it. And you might be able to, I don't know what songs you're trying to use. You might be able to find somebody that has a license to it or something similar.
Yeah.
It's worth looking into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Amy says here, fair use is a defense, not a guarantee.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. It's always a risk. Yeah.
LM Stewart here says that they just signed up and paid the fee for Tuber School. So excited to do this. Awesome. Looking forward to having you in there.
Awesome.
We'll be following up with you and everybody else that has joined already.
Yeah.
We'll be following up with you this week. I'm going to be sending you a form. And on that form, just some questions about you, the channel, what you're trying to do, all of that stuff. So keep a lookout in your email for that this coming week.
Lonely Bull in Asia says they can have the $5 I make on my live stream.
I know, right?
Okay, that's how I feel about that too.
Right.
I feel the exact same way. And I've been telling Nick for a long time, I was like, you know what? Like, we should just do it. We just play whatever. And he's like, no. I've never gotten a claim on this channel. I don't want to do it. I'm like, come on, live a little bit.
All right. I have gotten a claim on this channel.
Oh, you did get a claim on this channel.
Yeah, but it was from somebody else coming on a live stream and playing a promo video.
Yeah.
But I personally
it wasn't for music.
Right. I've only had a community guideline strike that I've done myself.
Right.
But fortunately got it removed.
Yeah.
So that's good. But like the
live a little.
Right. I did. I did. I rolled the dice, and I got a copyright or a community guideline strike.
Let's
so
just let me fire up. I don't know, AC/DC. Let me just
as much as I would love to do that, absolutely not.
Like how much cooler, right? How much cooler
how would the intro be with Back in Black playing as we're coming in? Yeah,
right.
Or Thunderstruck, the beginning of Thunderstruck, like as we're like building up, to it.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
That is worth the claim.
Yeah, it almost.
Sometimes it's worth the claim coming into Thunderstruck.
It is.
Do you know how fired up that would be?
Oh man, I would be fired up. Yeah, I'd probably have to like run out of the room. I'd be so fired up. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah.
We'll do that on my channel later.
Dave Madney, thanks for the super chat, man. Says, what is the ideal frequency for posting shorts? Does short form interfere with long form live streams? Thanks. So when it comes to the ideal frequency for posting shorts, there isn't one. So people have different strategies when it comes to shorts. Some people do it as like a supplemental thing in order to just reach people that are over there. For the people that are doing that, then you can have that to where like, okay, on this day I'm going to publish a long form video, and then this day I'm going to publish a short. Other people do it as a means to post daily to their channels, to where they're like, I'm going to do a long form here, a live stream here, I'm going to do a short here, and then another video, and then another live stream, then another short, or whatever combination of that. So in terms of the ideal frequency, there isn't one. However, there are also strategies in place as well where people kind of flood shorts, where they use that as a method to try to just get a lot of shorts viewers, to where they'll upload like 3 videos a day, 5 videos a day, things like that, as a way to just kind of have a lot of content out there. And the approach with that is, one, you're just taking swings. 2 is that you have all of that fresh content in the system that it's like trying to show people. And when they interact, or when people interact with that short, then it can cause YouTube to be like, hey, here's another new one, here's another new one, and just kind of keep people engaged with it that way. So it really comes down to what you're trying to do, what the purpose of publishing shorts is on your channel, and all of that when it comes to the ideal frequency. So if you're like, hey, I'm just trying to get some extra content out there, then you can just publish as much as you want. When it comes to them interfering with your long form or live streams, they do not. One thing that can be advantageous sometimes is using the related video link, but sometimes you can get people over from that. However, it is important to think about, okay, if I'm going to be sending people through that related video link for the type of content that I have, for what it is that I'm doing in this video, does it make sense for me to try to drive people over, and would they be likely, if they've opened up YouTube Shorts, gotten to the short shelf, and they're in there consuming content, does it make sense for me to try to send them over to to something else? So a lot of the answer to that question is more around what you're trying to accomplish, with your YouTube channel, and what is the best fit for that, right?
Got to fit.
Super chat.
Home Rapid Repair, what's up, man? Hope you're doing great.
She says,
Stock Explorer, what's up? Go ahead.
She says, where's it at here? She says, I don't care about a music claim.
Sorry.
I don't care about the music claim, but I do buy a license from Licked for specific songs. They have a lot now. Yeah, Licked. You can get a lot of popular music from Licked.
Yeah.
I work with them a little bit. I will give you a heads up on their service. They have some great songs over there, and they always clear the claims. But you might have a situation when you publish the video, you do get a claim, and then you have to get it removed. So just heads up on that. But they do have a great selection, and they do get everything removed. But don't have a heart attack if you upload it using that and you get a claim. You're like, oh my God, I just purchased a license for this. I'm supposed to be allowed to use it. They will clear it. Yeah, Thunderstruck is going to be stuck in my head all night.
Yeah, we'll listen to that on the way out.
Yeah, I was going to say as soon as we get out of this.
I was already thinking that. Yeah, I was like, we're playing that on the way out.
Yeah, we're cranking Thunderstruck.
Yeah. Scrap Palette Man's also like, yep, Thunderstruck. Yep. Yeah, Doug says use Creator Mix. Yeah.
Yeah, but
absolutely,
we don't have Thunderstruck.
We don't have Thunderstruck.
But
that Epic stuff though is pretty good. What do you call that? It's like Stomp Rock or something like that. Some of that stuff's pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe I need to put an AC/DC style guitar stuff, like
you do
something in there.
Yeah.
Yep. Another super chat.
LM Stewart says, I love making commentary video shorts. However, some commentaries have 1,000 to 2,000 views. Others have 12 or 47 views. How do I get more consistency and also avoid music copyright strikes? So when it comes to the music copyright strikes, that's going to continue to happen.
If you talked about that.
Yeah, if you're using popular music, then that's going to continue to happen. if you don't have the rights to the videos, that's going to, or the rights to the music, that's going to continue to happen. So for example, this is why we always recommend that people either go and use Creator Mix because you can get the license to the music down in the description. So if you ever have any problems whatsoever, then you have that license saying, hey, I've got the right to use this. You can also get that from some paid services like Epidemic Sound, for example, to where when you sign up for them, and I think Epidemic Sound's what, like $20 a month or something like that?
They are now.
Yeah, but with them, depending on the plan that you're on, you can also get the license from them as well that gives you permission to use the music as long as, like, if you download it and publish the video while you're a member, then you're protected. But if you go in there and you download a bunch of songs, cancel your membership, and then start uploading the videos, then they'll come after you for that. So as long as you upload the videos while you are a Epidemic Sound, paying customer, then you won't have any problems there either. In terms of the commentary videos, have 1,000 to 2,000 views. Others have 12 to 47. So in terms of consistency, it's going to come down to figuring out the topics that you talk about that people enjoy the most. It's going to come down to how you're actually structuring those videos as well, and just kind of analyzing on the ones that typically do better, like what are people responding to in those, and digging into the information around that, and then trying to, from what you gather from that, running experiments through publishing additional videos based on the things that you've learned from that content. So you mentioned that you're in tuber school, so we're going to show you how to do all of that stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, and I want to be very clear about something. Anytime you use something, video or audio, that you don't have permission to use, you could get a strike or you could get a claim. Mm-hmm. However, most of the time, not every time, but most of the time it's a claim. Mm-hmm. Meaning if you are monetized, they will take monetization, any money that you've made off of that video. Or depending on the situation, they could take a percentage of what you've made on that video. Yeah. Every situation is going to be different. Mm-hmm. But you always run the risk of getting a strike. Mm-hmm. There are some people out there, and certain artists and certain publishing companies and distribution companies that will issue, not distribution companies, but publishing companies that will issue strikes. They're out there. So it's a gamble. Yeah. You're gambling with your channel when you're using content that you don't have permission to use. Yep. Lots of people 100%. Do it. Lots of people get away with it. Mm-hmm. But lots of people get terminated. Yeah. You get one warning now, right? Mm-hmm. And so you get your warning, then it's 3 strikes within a 90-day period, mm-hmm. and YouTube will terminate your channel. Yeah. Yeah, they do not play. They do not play with that. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, if your channel is terminated for copyright, you can't have a new channel. You cannot have a new channel. If you break another rule, then you can have another channel a year later. But when it comes to copyright, that's it. Yeah, that's it. You're. My point I was getting at is you do not get a chance to. You don't qualify for the second chance policy. Right. Right. Copyright is one of those issues. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just be really careful when choosing music or choosing videos that you're going to play. Mm-hmm. It's tempting to use that stuff, but just be careful, especially if you're trying to if you're doing this for fun, do what you want to do. Right. But if you're trying to build a business and you're like, I want to make money at this, I'm trying to build a business around it, I'm building a personal brand, I want to make something, spend the money, get the license. Yep. Or use royalty-free stuff wherever you can get it. Yep. And really quick, Aline Tech Review says, how many sessions a year is the school? So it's ongoing. So a lot of people do cohorts, and I think those are fantastic, and there's a lot of value in those. The way that we're running Tuber schools, it's like an evergreen cohort. So, in terms of like being, hands-on and like all that stuff. So it's not like this many sessions and then we're closing it down and like things like that. When we first open it, we are going to close it down, for a little bit so we can just dedicate 100% of the time to helping the people that are in there. But when it comes to once it's, fully open again, then in that case, like it's just think of it like an evergreen cohort, essentially. So you can go at your own pace, but we're there to support you through the whole thing. Yeah. The core curriculum is video based that you can go through at your own pace, but we'll also be having live sessions in there and sections where you can get feedback, ideas, where you can watch videos, look at all of your stuff to give you, a second set of eyes looking over the decisions that you're making at a much deeper level than something that you might catch during a live stream. Yeah. Something like this. Yeah. And David says cohort. Yeah. Dee and I were actually talking about that language. It is a weird word. Yeah, so the cohorts basically like people set up programs where they're like, okay, everybody joins, we start on this day, and then we end on this day.
So then, some of those courses are like, or cohorts are like, 6 weeks, some of them are 12 weeks, things like that. And like once it comes to an end, it comes to an end. And then if you want to keep participating, then in that case, you have to like buy it again. So with this, like when people go in there, like you're in. And then it's a yearly thing. But in terms of, the community, the education, all the new updates that we add, as we, progress through it and all those things, like you get all of that, always.
Okay. So I needed to look up the origin. The origin.
Oh, what do you got? Oh, the origin.
What do you got? I was about to say we need.
What do you got? And then we got to get back on these questions. So just as a quick reminder, while we're derailed here for a minute, if you have a question about anything that you're doing on your YouTube channel, there's a form down in the description where you can get your question answered for free. If you're watching this somewhere other than YouTube or even on YouTube, you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and it's going to redirect you to this form that we're pulling the questions from.
Of course,
right,
Latin in origin. Originally, it meant an enclosed yard in a military unit, and then it came to be a division of soldiers. Later in English, it expanded to mean a group of people with something in common. So what a stupid word.
All right. Yeah, it is.
Roman.
It's even kind of awkward to say cohort.
Roman cohorts were subdivisions of a legion.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
The origin. I was going to say we need to track that person down.
Yep.
But I don't think we can go back that far. Not yet.
Yep.
All right, back to questions.
So next up we have, let's see here, JJ the Lonely Bull in Asia. Okay, so we got him covered.
Clear cash room. No, our live streams in there are not going to be like the live streams in here.
Let's see here. So next up, so we got JJ taken care of. So we've got Home Rapid Repair. What's going on there? Hope you're doing awesome. Uploads 1 time per week or more. Does home improvement content. Goal of the channel is to teach others. And says the YouTube BrandConnect feature, we sort of put it down as not that relevant. Well, I met a brand in that program and just made the largest brand deal ever for me. Would have never happened if not for the Brand Deal Connect introduction.
Wow.
Yeah, I know some people get some stuff out of there. I know, a lot of people don't, but, you definitely can get stuff out of there. I made a video about this, like when they first introduced the feature. And even at that time, one of the things that I mentioned was, like being connected to it, like it's free, it doesn't hurt you, in any way. So it's just one of those places where you can kind of put yourself out there for the opportunity if it shows up. So yeah, I think that's, I'm glad that you connected there. And I'm sure you are too. if you just got the biggest deal ever. Yeah.
Definitely can't hurt.
Right. So let's see here. So next up, we've got Gardening with Bear Brown. Gardening with Bear Brown uploads 1 time per week or more. They do educational content. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, someone emailed me to ask me if they could do my thumbnails. They sent 2 samples of thumbnails for my channel, and they were awesome. They want to connect on WhatsApp and want me to use Payoneer for payments if I want to use them. They would send me a payment if They would send me payment information through email. How do I know if it's a scam? I asked for their work on Fiverr, and they said no. I don't want to open something that could harm my channel or account. How would you handle this? So the way that I would handle the situation, first off, like we've worked with a lot of outsourcers in the past. I actually have, some that work with me now also for other things. And with that, like Payoneer is a pretty normal payment system, for that. Also having to send money through like Wise and stuff like that is also, a thing. But Payoneer is a, pretty reputable company in that regard. And it's very popular around like Southeast Asia and, some of the places that, that a lot of people use for outsourcing. So in terms of Payoneer itself, you're fine there. But what I would not do is I would not click that person's link to go sign up for Payoneer because then when you're putting all your information, it could be a spoof site, things like that. So instead, I would hop into Google. I would literally type into the search engine, Payoneer, and then have the official website show up, click on that, and then go in and sign up for your Payoneer account. In terms of payments, when it comes to that, I would definitely pay on a finished product. And with that, one of you is going to have to trust each other, right? They're going to have to either trust you to deliver the finished product first, or you're going to have to trust them to send them the money first. So depending on the dollar amount, I'm not sure, what the risk is there for you. But when it comes to this, you are, I think the risk is relatively low, right? To where I don't think this is really going to be an issue. Even if they were to take your money, I can't imagine they're charging too much, for thumbnails. But nobody wants to get ripped off, right? So because of that, this whole thing that's happening here is normal, okay? And same thing with like WhatsApp being a way to communicate and those sorts of things too. But I would try to nail them down somewhere though. So like while you are in this like introductory part for your relationship, I would try to get like at least like a LinkedIn, see how long they've been on there, or maybe like a Facebook or just something else that just isn't only email, right? And that is just so you could look and be like, okay, do they have a Facebook account with friends on it? Do they have a LinkedIn account where they actually have some connections? Do they have, these things that might make them look, more legitimate? And even still, when they send you things, I would also still be a little bit cautious in terms of, how you're receiving those files. So if they send you JPEGs that you can just hit the button and then download it directly out of your email, that's fine. But if they send you zip files with the thumbnails in there, I would also just request that they send you the images themselves embedded into the actual email. So then you can just, download them directly out of the email. And then going through those things, that should keep you safe. Let's see here. And also don't make your order too big at first. Like, one thing that we always do when we work, with outsourcers and stuff, or just bring on new people, when those things, when they're needed, is have like a trial period with that person. So then, during that period, your orders aren't too big, anything like that. And the risk is relatively low while you're seeing how well they, you work together, how well they follow instructions, like those sorts of things. So I would just, be a little bit cautious and slow at first. And then, once you're like, okay, they seem like they're solid. I'm sending them money. They're giving me, excellent thumbnails. So yeah, let's go ahead and, kind of ramp this up a bit. Would be the approach there.
On.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we got Mazzy Artistry. They upload when they have time. The type of channel is art storytelling about my original superheroes and villains content. And the question is, I want to make a long video explaining almost everything about and in my superhero universe, the Cosmic Pro universe. But like I said, it's very strong. It's very long. So what can I do? Because my long videos often don't get that many views if you look at my video views, but I don't want to keep doing shorts because it'll take a lot of shorts to explain everything that'll be in this video. So could I have this in multiple parts, but I don't want people having to binge watch to understand the latest parts. So what do? I'm thinking just make a video and ramble with pictures of the characters in it until the end, but I also want to make this in multiple parts. So when it comes to YouTube, we have the things that we like how we want to do things, then we have the ways that viewers respond to things. So it is very possible that if you made one long video, that, as long as you structured it correctly and you're thinking of the viewer experience and you have, a good hook and it's packaged well and all that stuff, very possible people will click on that and they'll watch it for its entirety, especially when it comes to TV viewership, that sort of thing. However, if you are still learning how to make videos and that sort of thing, like you might want to try it anyway, but you can definitely make individual videos that are shorter so they don't take as much time. So you can publish, a little bit more frequently and that sort of thing. And the approach when you're doing that is you want to make each video a standalone video. So I know this goes a little bit outside of the thing that you're wanting to do, but if you take that approach and you don't make it just one long video, then in that case, the best practice when it comes to YouTube is when you make a piece of content, you want to make that content accessible to somebody, and it needs to make sense to somebody that has no idea the other content even exists, right? That's the approach that you want to take to YouTube when it comes to new viewers interacting with your content. So because of that, when you make each individual video, I would package it in a way that it's a standalone. You can do things to where in the video description you let people know that this is episode 2 or whatever the thing is. You can do that sort of thing, but you definitely want to be careful about that in your titles. You can put in your titles if you want to, but just be careful there, because once you start stacking on episodes, then it starts suggesting you have a lot of stuff to watch in order to catch up. So that's why you got to be careful there. But you can do those sorts of things. But the thing that you absolutely want to do is you want to create a series playlist on your YouTube channel. And when you create that playlist on your YouTube channel, then you're going to put all of the videos as you're making them into that playlist in order. And then on every one of those videos, in your pinned comment and a YouTube card in the last 20% of your video, because you don't want to sacrifice the performance of that video to send people into the other videos. So in the last 20% of the video and in the end screen, point all of those towards that playlist. And then by doing that, that allows people to click into that playlist if they want to binge watch the entire series. And then by doing that, it gives you the opportunity to still present it in a way to where people can watch them back to back if you separate the videos out versus having to, sit and watch one long video if you don't think that you want to do that because it's going to take too long. So that'd be the approach to take for that.
So K&J Lumber is 30 subscribers away from hitting 10,000 subscribers.
Nice. Love it.
Early congratulations
to you. Yep, it's coming.
Yep.
It's coming.
Love it.
Yeah, so back in the day, a quick little side story here.
Back in the day, here we go.
Back in the day, so Dee and I, when people were close to milestones like this, we used to actually, be like, hey, everybody go check them out. And during the stream, we had a nice handful of people that they were close to those milestones that would cross over.
We did it for Stu.
Yeah, we did it for Stu. For sure. For those of you that are around for that, we did it for Stu, didn't we?
If you were around when we did it for Stu,
yeah.
You're
an OG.
You're OG.
Yep, you're an OG.
OG Niminati.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so K&J Lumber, congratulations on that. Love watching people, have those experiences and hit those milestones.
Neil was around
Absolutely
back then.
love it. Yeah, he was.
So was Beanie. So was Midnight Madness.
Yep.
So was Kathy.
Yep.
Hashtag do it for Stu.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stu was a great dude too. He came and he hung out with us over.
He actually came here. We actually interviewed Stu. He was on the show.
Yeah. Good dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty cool.
Next question.
Yeah, so Creator Class says, do you know the percentage of channels that have reached 10,000? Off the top of my head, no. I have it listed down somewhere, but off the top of my head, I don't. That's Dee's line. Yeah, what? Dee's the get off the line person. Yeah, Amy said next Nick is going to tell us to get off the line because I'm like, yeah, back in the day, right?
Get off the lawn.
Yeah, Dee's the get off the lawn guy.
Get off my. You gotta grit your teeth together when you say
are
it.
Kathy. Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Mm-hmm.
Get off my lawn. Just angry.
So as a quick reminder, if you are just joining us, I do want to remind you that we have a form down in the description where you can get your questions answered. So if you have any questions about anything you're doing on YouTube, you want feedback on the channel, anything like that, there's a form. If you're on YouTube, there's a form down in the description where you can submit that, and it's free to do. And if you're watching this somewhere else, you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and it's going to redirect you to this same exact form that we're using for this.
Yeah, that's one of those movie clips that's worth losing monetization on.
Right.
Clint Eastwood, get off my lawn.
Yeah.
You just lost monetization.
Right.
Totally worth it. I had a point to make.
Right.
Had to make the point.
So Millennial Legends is the next channel here. They do daily content, but on YouTube for a year more. They do travel, adventure, inspiration, and a millennial viewpoint as an expat living in the Philippines. Oh, this is interesting.
Okay, what's the question?
The goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, I was absent for 6 months while working on a private yacht as a skipper with an NDA.
Wow,
so now I'm
that's
back
cool.
and pumping out content, but growth is very slow. After looking at my channel, what else can I do to promote and push growth at this point? I've watched all of your advisory videos over the years. Fantastic. So I will pull up your channel, and we're going to see what it is that you got going on. We're going to take a gander is what we're going to do.
A skipper on a yacht.
That's pretty cool.
I bet that was a good time, man.
Skipper on the yacht in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess traveling all over the place, I guess. But, boarding out from the Philippines.
Yeah. So being on a yacht, like being part of a yacht and going out and living on a boat for a while, that's one of those fantasy things. It's like you think about that. You think about van life. Oh, I bet it's really fun to go live in a van sort of thing. Mm-hmm. I bet it's amazing to go out and just live on a yacht for months at a time or week, however long you do it. That's probably an amazing experience.
Probably is.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yep.
I do have a question though. So you're in a place
really quick, we had 2 questions answered here.
Yep.
So Shark Scrapper did it from the other direction. He says that they just looked and 97% of YouTube channels have less than 10,000. And then we also had K&J Lumber says 3% have 10,000 subscribers. Yep, nice.
There you go. Thank
it.
you. Yeah, I have to ask while Nick's pulling this up. So you're in a place like the Philippines. So you're in Southeast Asia on a yacht. You're out there in the water. Is it as hot out in the middle of the water at nighttime when you're trying to sleep than it is in the daytime, just sweltering? Do you have that same humidity levels as you do maybe on the islands? And if so, are you sleeping in a hammock? Is it air conditioned in the cabins? What's it like sleeping on a yacht?
Good question.
Always wondered.
Now you might get the answer.
Yep.
You might get to close that.
That's one of those. Yeah. That loop, man. It's open in my head.
Yeah.
I need to find out if there's air conditioning on the boat. I got to watch this video.
All right, let's see what you got going on here. So let's see here. Millennial legends living on a giant catamaran. My cost of living in the Philippines. Okay. So right out of the gate, when I land on your channel, I can tell obviously that you're doing something here in the Philippines, but I'm not exactly sure what you're offering to me as a viewer. So this is my cost of living in the Philippines, me living on a giant catamaran, but there's nothing here letting me know like what it is that you're actually offering. So this isn't a huge deal when it comes to your channel art. Just like it's not going to blow your channel up or anything, but it's just one of those places where you do want to add that type of clarity. So I just always like to make sure that I bring that to people's attention. In addition to that, if we scroll down the page here just a little bit. A man shaped by service, driven by adventure, a free-minded man who believes in, and then it gets cut off. And this right here is what I'm talking about, right? So the next thing that I look at is I look first up here at the channel art, and then I look down here at this part here. To what I'm looking for is I'm trying to get clarity on what it is that you offer to me as a viewer, right? So you're doing something right. So you got almost 20,000 subscribers, but what I'm looking for is, okay, what as a viewer can I, am I getting out of this YouTube channel? And the purpose for this is for the people that watched, this video, or the people that came in on one of these older videos, when they land on your YouTube channel, it just confirms to them that you are, it confirms to them what it is that you're offering, that you're still offering it, all of those things. But I'm going to expand this, see if I can get a little bit more context. Okay, this, traveling the islands for 3 years now. Philippines came second home. Okay, so let's look at the thing that matters most. Hey, really quick, I would get, unless you're actively like trying to drive people into your shorts, I would get these off your homepage. Reason for that is because unless you're intentionally trying to drive people into your shorts, because, you got 19,000 subscribers on the channel. So, you are, monetized as long as you've kept up with the requirements. So what you don't want to happen is somebody comes here looking for content. They're not clicking on the short shelf. They're on your channel page looking for things to watch. And as they scroll down the channel, they see a short and they're like, oh, they look cute. Let me click on this and watch this. And then they get lost in the short shelf, even in your content where your ad revenue is less, right? So you want to try to avoid that sort of thing. If they really want shorts, make them go to get it here. And then for the people that are landing on your channel page, especially on a desktop computer, which is who are the people that are going to see this, you want to make sure that you are not sacrificing the watch time and ad revenue of your long form content for sending people into YouTube Shorts. So I would get those off of there like ASAP. Okay, these are all older videos. You got playlists on here, that's good. You're publishing here on a regular basis as well, also good. Okay, so everything else is okay in terms of having your videos up here. That's also okay, makes the channel look active and all that stuff since you've been back at it. Okay, so let's get into the things that actually matter here. So looking at the channel here, you have Filipino drag race. That's okay. But one thing that I would definitely do here in terms of the thumbnails, if it is about the drag race, I would focus in more on the actual imagery of the drag race, because right now, even at a small size, I have to like zoom in on this to see like any detail here outside of the text that's on here about the drag race. So because of that, if you are going to be focusing on the drag race as the thing to grab attention, then I would definitely make this part of it bigger so that basically you're cropping in on. You know what, I should make a square version of this just for this example. But basically you want to crop in on like this part of it, right? And make that part big so it stands out. So it's just a little bit more interesting, a lot less dead space, things like that. And it focuses more on like what was actually happening there, right? And that's just for people like, being able to just quickly like recognize it, grab attention. People that are into this sort of thing, they see the, bikes themselves like, oh, hey, what's going on here? Another thing is here you have my first Filipino drag race on an abandoned airport runway, wild custom bikes in now, and then it cuts off. So another thing to think about is when you are writing titles and stuff like that, unless you're like, like really famous on YouTube in terms of a lot of people know who I am, and I'm going to put my face in the thumbnail, and because of that I can get away with pretty much anything I say in the title because my community is just so into what it is that I do that they just click on anything. That's where titles like this are best used. In your particular case, though, what I would do is instead of my first Filipino drag race on abandoned airport runway, I would reframe this whole entire thing around what it is that the viewer might get out of this video. Because right now, this is all about like you and a little bit about the drag race and all that stuff. Instead, because you have here wild custom bikes and now, and I'm not sure what it says after that, but maybe focusing on, this Filipino drag race, was a lot more than I expected. Right, or something like that. Then in that way, you're opening a curiosity gap to where people are like, oh, it's more than they expected. I wonder why. And then it gives them like a real reason to actually want to click on the video versus my first Filipino drag race on an abandoned airport runway. Right, like there's no real value on any of the information that I'm seeing right here on this video that suggests anything that I might be getting out of this particular video. Filipina farmer gives me a tour of her mountaintop village. Same exact thing with this one, right? So, you have you in here, which is great. It's smart to put the Filipino flag on here. And the reason that's smart is because people that are into, watching this type of content, it helps them easily identify that this has something to do with the Philippines. So people that are thinking of moving there, they like watching content there, even Filipinos, it can just help them easily identify that, it has something to do with that. I would do the same thing over here. And I would even make that, possibly a branding mark that you use, on all of your thumbnails that have to do with the Philippines. And then this is another one to where you have Filipina farmer gives me a tour of her mountaintop village. So this is another one where it's about you, right? Which is okay. But if you wanted to level it up, try to make your titles more about the viewer, right? And again, you take all the information that I said about this one, about trying to find a way to frame it to where when the viewer's looking at it, they can see some type of clear value that they're going to get out of the video. And then do that same exact thing over here. Because right now, like you're taking the approach, like you've already got 3 million subscribers on your YouTube channel, and you have tons of people that are going to watch your videos just because you're in them. But right now, like you're not there yet. And I'm not either, but I'm just saying like you're not there yet. So because of that, I wouldn't focus it on you now. Save that stuff for down the road. Right now, think about the viewer and why this video would be important to somebody that saw this on YouTube's homepage. That would be the approach that I would take there. Scenery, having the flag in here, things like that, fantastic. But in terms of, how you're actually framing this stuff, I think that you're missing the mark there when it comes to those things. So I would get those types of things sorted when it comes to the content moving forward. And keep in mind also, when it comes to that, a lot of this type of stuff happens, like if you're being strategic about it, and which I think that you're going to be because, you're here, you're trying to learn, you're asking this questions, you're wanting, the feedback. So if you're wanting to be strategic about it, the thing that you want to start thinking about is when you go to the drag race or when you go to her farm, think to yourself, okay, I'm getting ready to have this experience. So if I'm going to have this experience, what can I make this video about from a format perspective to where it's going to be something that the viewer is going to be likely to be interested in? And when you start thinking about that, start thinking like, okay, if I'm going to make it about this, then what would I use for the thumbnail? What type of title would I use for it? If I'm going to make it about, kind of like this thing about the drag race, then in that case, how would I represent that in the thumbnail? How would I represent that in the title? And by doing those types of things, it's going to help you design the actual content too, because you know how you're going to be packaging it so that when people do respond to this content, they click on it, they come in, then it's not like I made this video and then I'm packaging it up as an afterthought. It is, I made this video, I'm presenting it in this way. When they click on the video, they come into the video, and I'm, creating this great experience for them, and I've set up the right expectation that's going to facilitate that experience, right? That's the approach that you want to take. Got it. Thank you, and much respect. Yep, my pleasure. My pleasure. Let's see here. Hey, you're going to be in Thailand for February to March. I tell you what. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going, but be careful in March. February is probably going to be nice. It'll start kind of getting probably a little bit cloudy in February.
So they're up north, yeah.
Yeah, so depending on where you're going, if you're going up north, like if you're going to be in like Chiang Mai, then we have smoke season up here. So depending on how bad it gets, sometimes they start burning early and all that stuff. So it might be Might be a little rough at that time, possibly, or it might be okay, just depending on how aggressive they are. So as a quick heads up. So Fong was telling me that they are going around to the villages, at least where she's from,
right?
And they're telling them to burn now.
That's
because they're not going to let them. They're not going to let them. They're not going to let them burn
well, I mean,
next month.
Why would you? Yeah. So the logic here is instead of having 3 months of really bad burning, they'll let them burn early, so then you have like 6 months of bad burning.
Right.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Great logic.
Yeah, it's just not as extreme when it's not. Last year wasn't that bad. To be fair, last year wasn't that bad.
We had a month of really bad.
Yeah.
Diane's birthday.
Comparatively, though, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, right. Happy birthday.
Diane, happy birthday. So D has a song that he's been working on for quite some time. We have a whole Niminati birthday song that he keeps telling me to remind him to do, and I keep forgetting about it by the time the stream's over. But we have a whole birthday thing with all of these different content creators.
You know what I need to do? I just thought of it. I need to throw the rough mix into Suno.
Oh yeah, and have it just kind of fix the whole thing up.
It will do the whole thing.
Yeah,
and
dude,
put
fantastic.
that in and then put the video on it.
Yep, got it.
That's a solution.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and everybody just drop Diane a happy birthday. Love it.
Happy birthday.
Yep. Oh, you want to see how it is in that smoke season? Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Then okay, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay, that's perfect. Yep. That's good.
It's bad. March is usually really bad.
Yeah.
But it depends. Like, I don't know where you're coming from in the world, but
Yeah.
if you're coming from a place that has relatively clean air
if
year
you're coming
round,
from like the high points of Arizona, yeah, it's gonna be rough.
mountainous air. Yeah. If you're
Yeah.
coming from Europe and stuff like that, where you have clean air, mostly clean air,
Yeah.
it can be rough.
Yeah, if you're coming from like New York, probably not gonna be that bad.
Especially if you have sensitivities to just pollution in general.
Yeah.
Like you might, your throat might get a little bit sore. A lot of people are wearing masks, N95 masks to kind of get rid of the particulates in the air because it's all coming from burning.
Yep.
The farmers torch everything in the region
Yeah.
to clear out their fields. So you've got all that ash that it goes around the world.
Yep.
Or
David
goes around
Foster,
goes
what's
around
going on?
the
Hope you're doing
the
awesome,
city.
dude.
David's no stranger to burning.
That's right. So, yeah, Kathy says that they sort of have bad air there, too. Yeah, I know some parts of the States, you guys have
How
some of that stuff
crazy-
that you have to deal with, too.
You know how
around
crazy
burning
is
stuff.
it that we live in a society where it's like we're just all trying to just do our best and be healthy and try to like not die, and like all these people just
Trying
like
to not
catching stuff
die.
on fire.
What are you doing? I'm just trying not to die.
Right,
Like,
I'm just trying.
Yeah.
I'm just trying not to get
That's funny.
problems with my lungs.
Right.
Like, yeah, we're just gonna burn a bunch of tires next.
Right?
we're gonna torch all these acreages, all the acres in the mountains,
Right.
and burn all the farmland.
Yep.
Sorry about your luck.
Yeah. Shark Trapper says I'm feeling healthy, think I'm going to go to Thailand for burn season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Like we have to we've got air purifiers in all the different rooms. We've like the car's got air purifiers, like everything. Just cuz and you just stay in during those times
So-
if you don't travel out of the areas.
Something that happens to me, and again, some people have no problem with it whatsoever. Like you'll see people, I'll go out and I'll wear a mask to keep the dust from coming in my throat, and you'll see people out there jogging, just jogging, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
I feel really lethargic. I'll usually have about a month and a half if it's really bad, and I'm outside a lot. I'll just feel really lethargic and just low energy, and it's all that nastiness getting in your body.
Yeah.
David says
funky.
hasn't died yet.
Yep. Yet. So next up on the list here, we got Trainer James. Trainer James uploads when they have time, but on YouTube for a year or more. They have a Pokemon gaming channel. Goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I became monetized last month. Congratulations.
Way to go.
Love it, or congratulations. They say, when I clicked on my most recent video at the time, YouTube had 8 ad breaks placed in the video. I removed all but 2 of them and placed them where an ad break would make sense for a 30-minute video. Are 2 ad breaks too much, or should I go down to 1? So no. So 2 ad breaks are not too much. And them having 8 ad breaks, something to think about, is sometimes people do get hit with those ad breaks. Like, the default answer to that is like, well, typically, if somebody goes into a video, they're not going to see all those ads and things like that. But when you're stretching them out over a 30-minute video, like it's possible that, they might see like a decent amount of those. So it's definitely a way to increase your revenue. And if the content is interesting and people are into it, then non-premium users and non-ad block users, then they'll sit through it to continue watching the content. However, the 2 is definitely not that's definitely not too much. So when it comes to the longer content, placing the 30 or the 2 ad breaks in there, yeah, that's perfectly fine. So give people a little bit of time after they hit the ad on the way in, and then have another ad, like if it's a 30-minute video, let's say at the 10-minute mark, and then another one at the 20-minute mark, and then you should be good from there. And then that gives people enough time to just like really get into the content again, things like that, so that as you are building it up, or somewhere around, it doesn't have to be exactly on the 10 or 20. I'm just saying try to find a good spot there, just so people can enjoy the content for a while before they have the opportunity to get another ad break. iFun Chris, thanks for the super chat, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Super chat.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying a second ago in terms of the ad breaks. On a 30-minute video, they probably will. If they're a premium user, it doesn't matter. They're not going to see them anyway. But if they're a non-premium user, then 30. If they put one at the 10-minute mark and the 20, there's a pretty high likelihood that's going to show up. Charlie, what's up? Hope you're doing great.
I think YouTube Premium is, I've said this countless times.
Yes.
YouTube Premium is one of the best things I pay for monthly.
Yeah. That's good.
Now it's ChatGPT. So it's YouTube Premium and ChatGPT. If I had to get rid of all other subscriptions, I would do whatever I had to do. I would
maintain those.
I would wash cars if I had to maintain those
subscriptions.
Those 2 subscriptions, ChatGPT and YouTube Premium. I don't know. I don't know. I would mow lawns, whatever. But I don't know how people watch YouTube with all of the ads. I mean, unless you're using an ad block or something. But if you're actually sitting through those ads,
It's rough.
I mean, and God bless you, because that's how people are making a lot of money.
Right, yeah.
But I don't know how you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like
that's rough.
it can be painful.
Yeah.
Really painful. Hey, Charlie.
Charlie Morris, what's up? Hope you're doing great.
How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Beanie says they can tolerate an ad every 10 minutes, but I've seen people do them every minute, and it's an instant close. Yeah. Yeah, other things are a factor too in terms of like, your viewers. So for example, if you have older viewers, then in that case, they're going to be a little bit more tolerant compared to, like somebody that their ad blocker is broken. Some like, millennial that has a broken ad blocker, they're not going to be as tolerant as, like an older person that's just used to watching ads on everything because they still watch a lot of TV and stuff like that. So it really just depends also on who you are, in front of.
Really quick before we move on to the next question, I'm going to tackle this. Granite says, what made you move to Thailand? The price? I started coming here back in the 90s, and it was really different than it is now, but I just fell in love with it because it was completely different than anything I'd known.
In the Granite, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Super sticker.
Other side of the world, completely different smells, different way of thinking, different texture. Like everything is different here. And I love the constant stimulation. It's no matter, like, I've been here for 20 years, and every day when I go outside, it's like a new day. Right? I don't feel like I'm in a rut here, and it just because it's still so different.
Hey, David said since he's moving over here, he says if you start mowing lawns, let him know. He's got a little grass now in the place that they got. So so he said,
I'll mow your backyard, David. I'll mow the yard. I'll take care of the balcony. Keep your plants watered. But no, Thailand, it was just different. The price was great, but that wasn't the deciding factor.
Yeah,
it was just it's
really an awesome lifestyle.
Yeah,
like it's the people are just amazing.
It's not for everyone. Yeah, but I also enjoy
and you can just do pretty much whatever you want.
I was just going to say you can.
Nobody harasses you for anything.
Nobody harasses you about anything here, and I just love that freedom to where it's like like everybody's cool. Just be cool, and everybody's cool with you.
Yeah, it's great. It's like a mirror.
Yeah.
As long as you're cool, everybody's awesome. They're just amazing. And the more like friendly you are, the brighter they get. Like it's absolutely amazing.
Some Bangkok is going to be a different experience, or a place like Pattaya or Phuket is going to be different to where we're at.
Yeah.
But where we're at specifically,
some of those places are like different countries in comparison.
Yeah. But where we're at specifically in Chiang Mai, you could put your phone and your laptop.
We do this actually on a lot of occasions.
Put your phone and a laptop on a cafe table and leave for an hour and come back, it's going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, people generally don't take it.
I wouldn't do that in Bangkok, but here, it's
super
straight
safe
up here.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, back to YouTube.
Yeah, like America used to be. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Exactly. So next up, we've got Real Deck Gaming. Real Deck Gaming, they do content every other day. They do gambling content. The goal of the channel is to have fun.
Interesting.
And the question is, my videos views always seem to be 10% of impressions, and I'm growing at a much slower pace than most in my niche. Is it possible that YouTube has my impressions throttled in some way? No. So just to let you know, that thing that you're saying right here, a lot of people blame YouTube for the performance of their videos. So the thing that's important to know is that when it comes to your performance on YouTube, they do have algorithm updates, things like that. So, sometimes, you can see those impacts, on a channel, and you have to kind of rebuild sometimes, things like that. Not from zero, but, like you might need to kind of work against it. So those types of things do, happen, from time to time. But in terms of in general, YouTube has no motivation or incentive to throttle your content. So when it comes to YouTube, everything on the platform is based on how people respond to what it is that we do.
Yeah.
The decisions that we make in terms of the videos that we decide to make, the market in terms of how many people, are a prime fit for that video, right? The decision that we make, okay, we're going to make this video, but how many people might actually be interested in this video? How we package the video, of course, through the thumbnail and title. When people enter the content, every second that they experience in that content, and the decisions that we make around every second that they experience the content, those are the things that add up to how the videos perform. So sometimes, you might publish something and it doesn't do great right out of the gate. And that's because it might be showing to your initial audience and they just don't respond to it. But then maybe after a little bit of time, it starts getting legs, and then it starts doing better later once YouTube does find that nuanced audience that might respond to it. Those types of things do happen. But in terms of them intentionally throttling your content, no, that's not the case. So a few things that I want to recommend to you in situations like this, and I recommend this to everybody. And as a matter of fact, there's a really cool thing here. I'm going to pull this on the screen real quick, and I'm going to show this to you guys. I just noticed this today, but if I right click, can you see this?
Yeah, you can. I barely.
Hold on. Wonder if I can do it here. Yeah, okay. So if I right click here, then you can see Google added this new option. If you're a Chrome user, it says add tab to new split view. Okay. So what this does here, and this is just a part of their thing here. So what this does is over here.
I don't have that yet. I just looked. I don't have it.
Oh, you don't have it yet?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's not rolled out to everybody then.
Yeah, I don't have it. I'm up to date too, and I don't have it.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to open this, and then I'm going to new split view. I just found this morning, so I'm not, like I'm still figuring this out too. So we're just going to open the creator dashboard again. And by the way, while these are loading, no, it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Oh, when I hit YouTube, because this is set to open as a new tab. This is hilarious.
Way to go.
So they made it, but there's not like where you can actually put in like the URL that you want.
No way.
This is epic. Hold on.
No way. It's not a split URL.
Hold on. Split view. Okay. And then now let's go to YouTube. Okay. Here we go. So basically, if we do, let's say, since Amy Johnson is here, let's say we do genealogy, right? And then we're going to do it again. Genealogy over here. So a way that you can use this as a creator is we're going to click into this one right here, and then we're just going to scroll down. We're going to find another channel. I was hoping Amy's would be up here. Give me 1 second. We will just do looking for channels here. And then we will just click into, just for fun, we're going to go into ancestry.com. So the names were the win on this one. But basically, what you can do now with this feature that's inside of Google is this is a great way. And I'm saying this just because of the question that was asked here in terms of, my other competitors are growing faster than me. So now with this new split view, once you get it, and D, you might have to update your browser maybe for it. I don't know. But basically, once you get it, then you can come and you can look and you can be like, okay, so we're on the videos tab on both of these. Like what is, one channel doing that's thriving? Like both of these are doing pretty close to the same. So this isn't a great example. But what you can do is you can have your channel on one side. You can have a competitor channel on the other side. And then you can look at their thumbnails, look at their titles, and just go row by row. And be like, okay, so for this row, what are they doing here? Is there anything that kind of stands out that they're doing that I'm not? Like, for example, the close-up pictures of people or the text or, whatever the thing is, like, what is it that they're doing that I'm not doing? And you can start looking for those types of differences just to kind of help you just explore the idea that they might be doing something in a way that people respond to better that you might not be doing yet, right? So that's the whole approach when it comes to that particular feature. But when I saw this morning, I was really excited about this because I built a tool. So I don't know if you guys know it or not, but I have it's a channel review extension that I made for, down the
wrong one.
There we go. Yep. So I have a channel review extension that I made for when we're looking at YouTube channels and things like that. And in that particular tool, I made one of those manually so that I could actually do that when I'm actually looking at channels when I'm not live, and also during live streams to kind of express those ideals to people. So when I ran across that feature this morning, I was like, yes, Google built it in, and theirs is super clean too. Yeah. Like it's clean. The only thing weird was, as you could see there, actually navigating to YouTube is a little challenging. But yeah, super cool feature there.
Super chat.
Super chat.
And one quick thing also, just to mention here. So I pulled this up on my way into YouTube, just as a reminder for those of you that don't know about this yet. So this right here is something called Creator Dashboard. So typically when you click on the new tab, it just shows you like a Google logo and then like a little search box, which is great if the only thing you care about is searching. But what this does is this turns this page into a command center for YouTube. This is a free extension for Chrome. So if you're a Chrome user, you can find out more about this at creatordashboard.com. But this has also has some analytics tools for when you're on YouTube as well. In addition to that, it also has a screenshotter for comments. So if you're somebody that ever adds comments to your videos, it is a easy way to be able to just screen capture comments, which is great.
And you can change the background.
Yeah, you can change the background. You can make it look however it is that you want it to look. So it's like your own like vibe, essentially, every time you open up the new tab. Yeah, it's really cool. Getting a lot of like really good feedback about it. So the super chat that came in, thanks for super chat, by the way, says thoughts on my channel since I do gameplay walkthroughs. So let me see what you got going on here.
Got a gamer.
Got a gamer in the house. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this up.
All right.
And really quick, this is actually one of the tools that's in Creator Dashboard. So it does require a little bit of a technical setup, but it takes like 2 minutes. There's a tutorial when you first install. It's going to show you how to do it. But like you have this button right here where you can analyze the content on a channel. And it looks at all the videos over the last 90 days and lets you know like what's going on there. So we can see here, like this person's publishing like crazy on their YouTube channel right here. And we can look to see if they've had like any videos pop, which they haven't had anything that's done like substantially better. They have, they're pretty, relatively, they haven't had anything that's like really popped on here, but when a channel does, you can see like the spikes on, those videos that have popped, which is pretty cool. And it also shows like the top 10 videos of the last 90 days, which is also pretty cool. But in terms of where to find that shark scrapper, all you have to do is you just right click right up here at the top. And then you come down, you have the new tab to the right option. And right underneath that, it says add tab to new split view. That right there is the one that you want to look for Google's new feature.
Tish, I'm also a chronic tab opener.
Are you?
At any given time, I have like 100 tabs open.
Oh, one of those. Yeah.
I'll have like one browser open, just loaded with tabs. And I'm like, okay, this is packed. I'm going to work on something else. I'll separate one of them so that I have another browser and I'll load that up with tabs.
Nice.
So yeah, at any given time, I have like 5 or 6 layers that are all tabbed out.
Nice.
I'm embarrassed. I am a tabaholic.
You are. So a few things. First, if we look at this video right here, you can see here that you are using game imagery, which is great. You're using the Stalker 2, which is also great here. But one thing I would definitely do is when you have characters like this that are, kind of standout characters for a game, I would definitely not take it away by putting like text like this on here. Like I would focus it on the character, maybe even put them over here on like a third or something. And then, if you are going to have text, make it to where it's not so overpowering that it takes away from the actual character that you're trying to highlight here. And as another part of this, another thing that you shouldn't do anymore is here in this particular thumbnail, you have you have it. No, that doesn't work. You have the part 10, and then you have the pilot. I'm not sure what that says because as you can see, it's getting cut off by the timestamp there. But don't do this here. Don't put like the part 10 on here because what that does to people is that tells people that there are 9 other parts that they might have to catch up to for this video to be relevant to them. So because of that, don't add those types of things to your thumbnails. And I'm not sure what the PilotPlays thing is. Let me check here. This might be a branding. It is.
Yeah, you also don't need to put things on there like 4K 60 frames per second.
Yep, yeah, I'm definitely getting to that one.
Okay.
So up here also you have the PilotPlays thing. So with this PilotPlays thing, also I wouldn't worry about putting that in your thumbnails right now. What you need to focus on right now over everything else when it comes to your thumbnails is what you're focusing people on. Because you're focusing people on the things that don't matter, like part 2, the PilotPlays, and then everything that actually matters, like this Red Dead Redemption logo, the game, stuff, that is secondary in terms of where your eye goes when this pops up. So because of that, I would focus the imagery as much as you possibly can on the actual characters themselves without any of this, other stuff that's distracting on here. The next thing is like Dee mentioned. The next thing that I would do is I would also make coherent titles. So right now you have, it's the gameplay walkthrough, part 10, 4K, 60 FPS, no commentary. Like you have all of this stuff going on here. And it's cool because it's informative, but it's not really how you should be writing titles on YouTube. Instead, talk about like maybe what you did in the video that people should see, that sort of thing. Because when you are doing just gameplay walkthroughs, and it's just important that you know this, I'm not saying anything bad about you. But when it comes to a gameplay walkthrough of an extremely popular game, there's so much of this that there's nothing really unique about this video outside of you're the person walking through and talking. So when you're making content like this, and I know people search for this, which is great, but if there's already a lot of strong results in the search results when you are deciding to make this video, and you can find that out by going up to the YouTube search bar, typing in around this game and seeing what other people have made, typing in those terms that you're going after. But what you want to do is you want to try to come out with something that's a little bit more unique so that when it shows up on somebody's homepage that people aren't like, oh, this is another walkthrough. I've already seen like 30 of these, don't care. Instead, you want it when it shows up on somebody's homepage, and this is why coming up with good ideas when you're making content is so important. When it shows up on somebody's homepage, you want people to go like, oh, that's interesting. Never, it hasn't been presented to me that way before. So that it makes it something interesting just because it's more unique and not the millionth gameplay walkthrough video that's been put on YouTube, right? And there's other deeper things when it comes to this. Like for example, when it comes to inventory on YouTube, like if there's just tons and tons of these videos, then you're competing with tons and tons of, this exact thing. But if you can come up with an offering that's a little bit more unique, it can still be related to something similar, about the walkthrough, but you put like a specific challenge to it, or, there's something specific about the walkthrough that you're going to focus on, then it's more of a unique offering. And that's great also when it comes to YouTube, having unique content to recommend to people that are interested in this game. So I would really work on the video topics themselves. You definitely need to work on your titles in terms of just simplifying it and making it, clear and try to make it compelling. But once you fix the video idea problem, then this is going to fall into place, I think, because then you have something unique that you can present through the title. So I would work on those things right now when it comes to your content. And one more thing I'm going to mention is here, I love that you're focusing on the character. And, if somebody's into Red Dead Redemption, then they're going to, be able to identify, some characters in there. But like in this one, the characters are a little bit more hard to see. And then you also have with the Red Dead Redemption logo, as you can see here, even if we magnify this, it's completely lost in the similar toned colors that are in the background. So if you are going to put a logo on here, just make sure that the logo also stands out and then it's easy for people to read, so that they can just easily see at a glance that this has something to do with Red Dead Redemption in addition to the characters that you have on here. And like Dee mentioned, you don't need to put 4K 60 FPS on this either, just like you don't need to put it down here. Any additional thoughts, Dee?
No, I think you covered it. Just generally speaking, you're doing way too much.
Yeah.
You're stuffing all of this stuff into a thumbnail and into your titles.
Like, it's good that you're detailed, but I think you're putting that detail in the
wrong places.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, just at a glance, keep in mind the whole purpose of the thumbnail, your packaging in general, you should get an idea of what's going on in just not even a full second. Like, somebody should be able to quickly identify what's going on to some degree. And like he said, you know, my eyes go straight to part 1, part 2, part 3. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to go back and watch 8 parts to catch up. Like, I'm automatically not going to watch a part 10 unless I've watched things that came before it.
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't put your videos in parts. You can put things together in a playlist. So if somebody wants to binge watch in a playlist, you can do that. Yep. But I wouldn't break them down this way for the reasons that Nick already said. I think you
Silent Walking just said that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you covered this well. I simplify things and focus on what it is that you're actually, what's your idea, right? What's the idea? Write that idea on the title, use the thumbnail to support that idea, and try to think of a different spin that you can put on it to stick out so you don't get lost in that, you know, the sea of people doing the exact same thing that you're doing.
Yep.
Are you looking at something, or is that
moving on? Oh no, I was just kind of, you know, skimming around. All right, so next up on our list here in Silent Tour Games, so it says the best titles is like my trailer. The best title is going to either inform the viewer in a simple, easy to understand way, or it's going to create some type of curiosity to where the viewer is going to want to click on the video in order to get the answer to the question that gets generated in their mind, or it's a title that creates some type of urgency to where it makes somebody feel like, oh, this isn't something I want to put in the watch later. This is something that I need to check out right now, right? Because it's that compelling. So when it comes to a good title, like, that's what you want to think about.
I mean, you're in the gaming space, and there's no shortage of people in the gaming space that are just getting ridiculous numbers when it comes to getting views. So I would look at, and you can look at a different game. You don't have to look at the games or channels that are focusing on your game. You could look at a different game. You look at Fortnite or Call of Duty, whatever you want to look at, and look at the ones that are succeeding, that are just getting crazy numbers, and try to identify how they're putting everything together. Look at the simplicity of their thumbnails. Look at how they're crafting the titles. Try to pick up on how their titles and thumbnails work together, right? And then look at how are they starting their videos. Yep. You know, are they coming in guns a-blazing right away? Like, you know, just go and look at successful channels. That you don't have to copy them, but look at those channels for inspiration and try to, and this is part of the process of learning how to do this, right? Try to start figuring out, okay, why are they doing it? I'm going to look at the top 5 gaming channels and see if I can find things that they're all doing that are similar, because they're doing things that are working. Yeah. Could be the ideas, titles, thumbnails, all of it together. Yep. Success leaves clues. You've probably heard that countless times.
So Magic Prepper says the approach of assume every video title thumbnail is the first thing the viewer has ever seen from you still the right way to view things. Yes, it is. So you obviously want people coming back to the channel, right, as much as possible. But yeah, without question, like, you need, if you're trying to grow the channel, you need people that don't know about the channel to be interested in what it is that you're doing. And the way that you do that is making the content as accessible as possible to the people that have never interacted with the content before. So yeah, absolutely, that's still the play.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Listen, none of this is easy when it comes to trying to figure out a unique angle, especially when it comes to gaming, because there's so many gamers out there. So it can be challenging to try to figure, okay, this is my game. I don't even know how many channels playing this game. How can I attack this from a particular angle? Yeah. That's the challenge. But if you can figure it out and you can hone your skills to where you're putting together the right packages, that's where you'll succeed. Yes. You know. It's not supposed to be easy. Right. You know? Yeah.
So next up on the list here, we have Beanie Draws.
Before we get into that, I just want to say that doesn't just apply to gamers. Everyone, we all have to go through that. Yeah. You know, even, you know, him or me, or we're, you know, if I'm doing tutorials, there are a million channels doing tutorials on the exact same apps or software that I'm doing tutorials on. So it's really hard to have an angle. So sometimes I don't have an angle. All I have to do is just rely on, okay, well, my channel has a little bit of authority here. All I can do is just try to test thumbnails and title combinations to try to find something that's going to be eye-catching. So when somebody's looking for this particular thing, within a millisecond, they identify what my video is and go, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yep.
They don't have to pause and figure it out. They don't have to think, oh, I wonder what's going on there. No, split second, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yep.
Then I focus everything on that first 30 seconds. Because even if you win the click, if you lose them in that first 15 or 30 seconds,
That's it.
That's it. So you have to get the packaging together, and the packaging is really, it's your title, it's your thumbnail, it's the idea, and I would even say it's also your hook, right? How are you going to bring that video in? And all of that stuff has to work together. So even if they find you, you have to win the click. If you win the click, you've got to win that first 15 to 30 seconds. And if you win that, then you got to win the next minute or two. That's the game we're all playing.
Yep.
You know, and you have to learn how to do that.
And you have to do it all better than the other people that YouTube is showing your content to, or at least at a competitive rate.
Exactly.
Like you got to be in that competitive range, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
Wild.
Here's the thing. That can seem overwhelming to you if you're just getting started and you don't have the skills to do it. But I can assure you, through trial and error, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
Everyone, your favorite YouTuber, I don't care who it is, Mr. Beast even.
Yep.
You can go back and look at their old videos. Go to their videos. Marquez Brownlee, Mr. Beast, some of the biggest channels on the platform.
It took Mr. Beast like a decade to get started.
Right.
Yeah.
Go,
in terms of like just trying stuff, like all that stuff. Yeah.
Go look at the oldest videos. They're terrible. You have to learn the skills. We've all been exactly where you're at, right? If you're like, oh, this is so much. I'm never going to. We've all been there.
Yep.
We've all been there. You can do it.
Yep.
You just have to keep showing up. You have to try. You have to learn. You have to practice, learn the skills. It's just part of the process. Think of it like learning a language, learning how to play a sport. You know, if I handed you a paintbrush, could you go up and could you paint something? Probably not.
Right.
You'd have to learn how to do it. This is the same
Diane
thing.
Dobson could.
She could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tango in the kitchen, thanks for super chat. It says, is an iMac worth it? I'm planning to get a MacBook. So I'm not sure about an iMac, but
A MacBook.
the MacBook is.
We just had this conversation tonight.
Yeah. In my opinion, yes, 100%. So I'm going to give you some positives and negatives. Negatives are ports. So depending on what it is that you're doing, you're going to have to get like dongles and like all these like additional things to expand your ports. So on my main computer at home, because I also have live streaming stuff attached to it and things like that. So I've got like, one dongle that has a thing. I've got like a powered USB, thing that I plug into it. I've got a Elgato Stream Deck, like one of the new ones, the Stream Deck Plus, and it has this like backpack thing that you can get for it. And then it has port expansion. Like I got all this stuff that, that I have to go through in order to make it all work. So when it comes to these, they have even less ports than the one that I have at home. But when it comes to the power, these things are more than capable. And if you get like any of the new series MacBooks, you're going to be great. And it's also going to be good for a decent period of time. iCloud is also amazing. So if you have an iPhone, the ability to be able to take pictures on your phone, and then you don't even have to transfer anything or anything like that. It's just automatically, as long as you have iCloud turned on, it's just automatically synced up on your computer is amazing. So for example, if I'm like, having coffee or food or, whatever, and I'm like, oh, I have this idea, and then I put it into my notepad on my phone, my Apple notepad, then in that case, when I get home, I just open up my notepad at home when I'm like ready to, work or whatever. And then I see, that idea and all the details for that idea, like right there in the notepad without me having to transfer anything around, stuff like that. So it absolutely fantastic in that regard. And and I'm making some cool stuff for computers too, by the way, for Mac stuff.
Yeah.
It's not ready yet, but I've got some cool stuff coming out for that. And the new Creator app is also going to have the one that's just for iPhones. That's also going to have a Mac version as well.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Macs?
I think if you already have an iPhone or an iPad and you get or maybe an Apple Watch, you're still using a PC, you'll be glad that you switched over.
Yeah. It's awkward though.
That
switch is awkward. Yeah.
The switch from a PC to a Mac for most people can be really awkward. You have to push through it, but after a couple of weeks, you'll be glad you switched over.
Yeah.
I love it. I kicked and screamed, and I didn't want to switch over to Mac, but I
even insulted friends who were Mac users.
I did. I insulted friends who were Mac users, but I had the iPhone, I had an iPad, I had the Apple Watch, and then I just to be clear, this is a PC. This is a PC. Only reason we haven't replaced it is because we don't need to. It works. This thing is a beast.
Yeah.
It's a Dell, and it's an absolute beast. But if this breaks and we have to replace it, we will replace it with a Mac.
Yeah.
100% we'll replace it with a Mac.
You know what? I set the members thing for 10:30 instead of 11:30.
You can change it really quick.
Yeah, so just as a heads up, so I think I accidentally set in Creator Classroom here, she just said 10 T minus 2 minutes until members. Yeah, so in my brain, because when the time zone changes over there, nothing changes over here, but we have to kind of modify what it is that we do. And in my brain, for some reason, when I was setting that up, I was thinking the old time zone. So
Great.
So I'm moving that to for 1 hour from now. Sorry about that. Yeah. Major apologies if you're already hanging out over there.
Yeah.
And just a heads up, if you are a channel member, we are doing a members only stream for an additional like 30 to 40 minutes or so after this stream is complete here in a bit. So I'm going to go in there. D, if you want to take this for a second while I get the time switch.
Yeah. I'll carry it. I'll go on and keep talking about a Mac for a second. I used to do everything on PCs. I started on a Mac. It was Final Cut Pro version 1.
Yeah.
Was how long ago I had a Mac. Actually, before that, before they had Final Cut Pro, before I was on video editing, I still had a Mac. But then at that time when Final Cut Pro came out, the original one, I had so many problems with it crashing, I went with the PC. And that was, man, what was that? Over 25, I don't know how many years, it was a while ago. And I recently switched over to a Mac during the, when the world shut down. I was like, okay, I'll get a Mac. Bought a Mac Mini, fell in love with it. And then MacBook Pro, and now I do all of my work now on a MacBook Pro. Everything is done on a MacBook Pro.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Ace in the whole EDU says thinking about transitioning to a Mac next round, but had incredible performance and stability for decades with the Dell. You know, it's one of those things to where if what you have,
you're rolling with an XPS right
this
there.
This is an XPS.
Yeah.
If what you have is working, don't fix it. There's nothing to fix.
Right.
If you have a system that works, it's reliable, it does everything you need, that's all you need, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, this works. This Dell works, and we're not going to replace it until we have to.
Yeah.
But when we do replace it, it will be with a Mac.
Yes.
Right, but it works.
Yeah, and Reluctant Creators right here says, with regards to an Apple Mac for expansion, make sure you go with the powered docks for most needs rather than the powered hubs. Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
And also connecting like multiple monitors and like things like that as well.
Again, my biggest complaint with the Mac also is the lack of dongles, or the lack of ports, not dongles, because I have lots of dongles. The lack of ports, and I don't like the audio routing inside of a Mac. So if you're doing advanced things with audio, trying to send things to different direction, and you have speakers and different inputs or whatever, you need something like Loopback, which is a third-party program. And that can be a minefield sometimes.
Yeah.
It will just reset in the middle of doing something, and you got to go back in and change your sources.
Yep.
But overall, I can't imagine going back to PC unless Mac just completely drops the ball.
Yeah, and also, let's see here. Give me 1 second.
What do you guys use? What's everybody use? I know Doug's a Mac user. I think Beanie used to be a Mac user. I think he went to build his own. Some people use Linux, and I think we have another super chat in here. I'm going to go back, moving back.
Yeah, there's a creator that I want to direct you to, if I can find him here within a few seconds.
Super chat.
That has like all kinds of great, man, I can't think of his channel name. He's like, hey, it's Chris. And then he gets into his content, but I can't think of his name. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't think of his channel name.
Yeah, so him as a resource, if you are getting a Mac,
it's Chris. Yeah.
Is absolutely fantastic. Daily Tech is the name of his
Daily
YouTube
Tech,
channel. He took a break for a while, but I think he's back because he just published a video. But I'm going to drop his channel right here into the chat here. So if you are somebody that has a Mac, he shares all kinds of helpful stuff for like iPads and Macs and like all these little weird tools that just make the whole thing better. So definitely check him out when you get the chance.
Silent in Over T Gamer says my inspirations are the Rad Brad and M Kais and Fire. Boy, I would love to have a name, the Rad Brad.
Rad Brad, right?
That's like the best name ever.
Yep.
What's your YouTube channel name? The Rad Brad.
Right.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yep.
How we got here says, did you guys check out Daniel Battel's AI editing battle? I did not.
Yeah, so I hung out because that started at I think it was like 1 a.m. local time. So I hung out for like a little bit of it at the beginning. But once they started getting into the fun stuff, like I got to see like Dan's elf video and like stuff like that. So I got to see some of it, but I didn't get to complete the whole thing because it was later.
What were they doing? Comparing tools?
Yeah, so basically it was human creators against AI creators. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, check it out. Yeah, when you get the chance. Yeah, I'll grab a link to that real quick. Also, yeah, it was really cool.
Human creators versus AI creators. And what was the thing? Like, who could do it better?
Yeah,
that's like completely like a different.
Yeah, who can do it better? Who can do it faster? Who can come up with better stuff, like that kind of thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, here's that stream. I'm dropping in the chat right now if you want to check that out at some time. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think AI creators are in a league of their own.
Yeah.
That's, it's like saying, who can build a faster product, a human or a robot?
Right.
Well, robot's going to do a faster product. But I think when it comes to creativity, humans are going to create the human things, and AI creators are going to create things that they generally can't do.
Yeah.
Like a true AI creator, people are making worlds, and they're making visuals.
That's not possible otherwise.
Stuff that's not possible otherwise.
Unless you have some advanced motion design, animation degree of some kind.
Right. So I think there's a place for both, right? You have the human element, they're going to do what humans do. You have the AI creators who can do things that humans can't do. I think there's a place for everybody.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's coming down to whichever method you use, it's still going to come down to who tells a better story and who connects with the audience better. Yeah. And that's going to depend on what the audience is looking for.
Right.
And I see some really interesting things happening now with AI because AI is so good now at video, especially when it comes to short form videos.
D's got AI content on TikTok with like millions of views.
Yeah. I'm absolutely crushing it on TikTok. And I see we're at the point where some things are so good and so entertaining. You'll see comments and people will say like, is this AI? And you'll see just tons of comments that says, I don't care.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know and I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, we've reached that point. It's so good. Like, if you're, here we are, like, entertain me. Right? If you're there for entertainment, I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Entertain me as a human, entertain me as AI, I don't care. Just make it good.
Diane Dobson, awesome. Sounds great. Awesome to see that you are on board. So just as a heads up for anybody that has signed up for the pre-launch for Tuber School, I'm going to be sending everybody a form this coming week, and that form is just to get some information from you in terms of what you're trying to accomplish, those sorts of things. Because we have the program that we've made, and we also because we're going to be working like really close with you guys that are joining the pre-launch for it. So because of that, we're also trying to get feedback on like any additional stuff. So that we can make sure that we have that stuff in there for you as well, as you get in there. And also some of the questions are there to help us know how you're thinking about some of the things that you're doing around your YouTube channel as well. So we can also just kind of, get a gauge of where you're at in the journey. So just expect that this coming week. But right along, gang. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Says, no question, just because you deserve it with all the great advice that you give. Thank you for the kind words and the super chat. Appreciate it.
Divide and Conquer Gaming says, what kind of AI do you use and how do you use it? Without going into a deep dive on here, the tools that I'm using over on TikTok, I'm using Midjourney. I'm using Midjourney for images and short versions of turning those images into video, which is kind of trial and error over on Midjourney. There are better ways to do that, but I'm just kind of focusing on that. It's doing what I needed to do.
Yeah.
So I'm using Midjourney for image creation. I'm using Nano Banana for taking different variations of those images. Like, let's say it creates something and I want different angles, or I want to remove something or add something. Nano Banana is a lot better at doing that than Midjourney is.
Yep.
And I'm using 11 Labs for a voice. I found a voice that sounds... The cool thing about 11 Labs, there are some voices on there that are unbelievably good.
Yeah.
But the voice I'm using is incredible. Yeah. So 11
you spent like a week on that voice though.
Yeah, 11 Labs, Midjourney, and Nano Banana. That tends to be what I'm using.
Yep.
I've been experimenting with the new Nano Banana Pro. Done some experimentation with some other tools, but those are the ones that I'm using to actually grow something over on TikTok.
So next up on the list here, we have another super chat came in. Says, Echoes of the End gameplay walkthrough part 4 commentary. The seal my trailer mode views videos, so we'll remove text, then guess add to tags. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying there. So Echoes of End gameplay walkthrough part 4. Yeah, so the part 4 thing, like that's the thing that we're trying to avoid, right? Because then you create the idea that somebody needs to watch 3 videos to catch up, right? So if you're wanting to do the no commentary thing, I would just have that as the additional thing that you put at the end if you are dead set on putting that in there. So the Echoes of the Game in-game gameplay, skip the part 4, and then put the no commentary in there. And then for the rest of it, even with that, like the Echoes gameplay, that still, you're just like stuck in a sea of like all the other people that are making those videos compared to like, how can I frame this in a way that might be, that might present it a little bit differently. I mean, it's a gameplay video. So because of that, you've already, kind of done that. So you have to kind of build it around that. But, for future videos, plan your thumbnail and your title before you make the video. And by doing that, it's going to help you ensure that 1, you can package the idea in a way that's compelling and interesting. 2, it's going to also ensure that when you are creating the content, that you're making the content and you're saying the things in the way that will match the expectations that you've set through the packaging, thumbnail, title of your video. Neil, Urban Van Life, thank you for the super chat as well. Says, Mac Pro for years, and all cameras and audio and drones are DJI, but they are one of the main sponsors, so that helps. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely helps when they're a sponsor. So the U.S. is dealing with some stuff right now. They might, I think they're going to ban them, aren't they?
Ban who?
I think they're banning some DJI stuff and things like that, I think.
Why?
Like, don't quote me on that because I don't know the full details of it, but I saw something, I can't remember all the details of it, but it's something about some DJI stuff, possibly. I don't know if they're doing that as like a way to extort them in some way.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not sure
if
what's
a
going on
U.S.
there.
company doesn't buy DJI,
Right.
we're going to ban it.
Right. So
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on there, but the
drones.
Yeah, but the drones are having some type
So
of
it
issue.
must be happening because somebody's saying drones. Don't get me started on the DJI ban. So is the problem with drones? People are flying drones in restricted places and they're trying to ban them. Is that,
I don't know.
Is that what?
Don't
Can somebody please give us a Cliff Notes version of what's happening in the USA with drones or DJI specifically?
So I don't know if this is it, but I would take a stab and I would say that maybe that some of what is happening is, I know for my drone, because I have a DJI drone, and with mine, when I fly it, it gives me the option to upload the videos to DJI into their stuff.
Okay.
So since they are a Chinese company, it might be that they don't want that drone footage from people being uploaded into that app to give them whatever information that they're afraid that they're going to get.
Because they don't have satellites that can zoom in and get that stuff?
I know, but I'm just saying that might be the reasoning that they're going to, say in terms of why they're going to do that. Yeah. So... yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
All of these
and weather balloons.
All these countries have satellites that can zoom in and read
newspapers
read newspapers,
Yeah.
and they're like, nope. Consumer drones, they're uploading footage.
Right.
Yeah. Like what?
They say the seal is mission to video. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm not sure the reference there. That might have been a part of the other one that you were talking about. I'm not sure.
So it's a Chinese manufacturing issue?
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe it has something to do with tariffs and stuff. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay, so next up, Beanie Draws co-streaming with Cathay Arts. Here we go.
Just do a blanket ban on everything.
So they upload when they have time. Been on YouTube for a year or more. It's art content. The goal is to teach others. And the question is, I've been experimenting and playing around with stream setups and at the software level. You showed us your hardware setup for streaming, but I'm curious how long it generally takes you guys to set up the stream on a software level, including making sure drives and visual assets are ready to go. Really curious how long it takes you from turning the computer on to ready to hit live.
Oh.
So
That's
really
a great
quick
question.
So I'm not sure what you're using to stream, but if you are using anything that's browser based, I made a Chrome extension called Tab Stacks that's in the Chrome store. It's not something that I really talk about that much because I just made it for myself and I put it out there, if anybody wants it. But with that one, you can set up different like workflows. So what I do is when I get in here, I click the tab stacks button in my extension, and then I hit the live button, and then it opens up everything that I need for this live stream. So the setup for the live stream literally takes me seconds once the computer's on. When it comes to hardware stuff, that's a little bit different because there, if it's Meld, like if you're using like Meld or OBS or, you know, like another like software based thing, then in that case, you know, you're going to have to open that up. But all of those things, they have scenes that you can set up. They have profiles that you can save, stuff like that. So you can go ahead and get it saved once. And then once you get it saved once, then you can just select it from like a profile or something like that, and it can go together like really quick. So the setup process can sometimes take a while, you know, like making graphics for it and all that stuff and getting the graphics right and then loading them up and then doing like, okay, we're going to do a screen share. So how's the position going to be on a screen share and stuff like that, and getting all of those things worked out can sometimes take time. But once you do get that worked out, the actual startup process, once all that work is done, should be really quick.
So as this stream particularly, so we have everything built inside of StreamYard already, and it's built inside of Meld. So we decide usually over dinner before we come in here which platform we're going to use before we go live. And everything is pre-built. And unless we've added a new graphic to put on top of the screen to overlay, everything's ready to go. So the process that I do, just to let you know, when we come in here, check the internet to make sure the internet's working. 99% of the times we're fine. It's fiber. And I turn on the computer. I turn on the Rodecaster, which is the audio. I turn on the cameras, and I go around and turn on all of the cameras. It takes, we can have this running as long as everything is working in 2 minutes flat if we needed to. And we've come in here before.
And sometimes we've needed to.
Sometimes we have come in here and just fired things up at the last minute and we're running. You can, once you have everything set up, starting is easy and it's fast as long as you don't have any problems. The biggest problem we have is, one, there could be an internet issue. Two, we've had issues a couple of times where we think, I don't have proof of this, but I think we were getting ready to go live, and I think StreamYard was doing some sort of an internal update, and it was causing some problems for us. That's rare, though. It doesn't happen. Yeah. And we've had problems where my PC will force me into an update right before we go live. And then you do an update, and maybe something will break. Yeah. Those are really, once you get everything set up, those are really the only things that happen. So I just want to throw that in there.
So I missed some super chats here, so let me go through and get those covered really quick. So the Granite says, Granite 617 says that I'm old school. I'm not politically correct. Any advice? So when it comes to how you present yourself on YouTube, really, as long as you are not saying things that are attacking people, or are, you know, really just attacking people, would probably cover, that's probably an umbrella that covers a lot of things. If you're not saying things that attack people, then you're probably going to be okay. However, you know, if you're old school, you know, it is a more sensitive world now. And since YouTube does go out all over the planet, you know, you're definitely going to get in front of, you know, or you have the potential to get in front of people that are going to be offended by what it is that you say. However, I don't necessarily think that that's a bad thing. And let me tell you why. So when it comes to YouTube or growing any type of community with anything, one of the things that is beneficial is kind of drawing a line in the sand in terms of, you know, this is what we are and this is what we are not. And in your case, if you are not politically correct, then you're probably going to resonate with other people that are not politically correct, because they're going to interact with your content and they're going to be like, oh, it's refreshing. You know, we finally got somebody that's going to, you know, say it like it is, or, you know, whatever the thing is, you know, when they're interacting with the content. The only things that you have to be careful of is making sure that you just don't say anything that that violates like YouTube's community guidelines around like bullying or, you know, anything like that. Hate speech. Yeah, that's that's another one. So you just got to make sure that you're, you know, towing the line there. And as long as you are, then in that case, you know, you're probably going to, you know, grow a community of people that, you know, that that are similar in terms of, like they think and communicate in the same way. So because of that, I would just be yourself, but I would be mindful because, we are playing in YouTube's yard here. So because of that, I would be mindful that they do have rules around, like hate speech and bullying and like those types of things. So because of that, just keep those things in mind. Just make sure you're not crossing those lines. So one thing that you can do is YouTube, there's two different resources that you can access. One of them is if you hop into Google and you type in YouTube community guidelines, then you are going to access an area that just kind of explains all the rules of YouTube and all of that, which everybody here should get up to date with. That's why I have it in my new Creator iPhone app. I actually have links to all that stuff in there, so you can just directly go to them. It's over in the resources area for those of you that are using that. But I would look at that, and then also in the Google Help pages, like when you run across a policy in the community guidelines, like the hate speech thing, for example, also take that, go over to the Google Help pages, and then there put in that particular policy, and then they usually go into more detail over in the Google Help pages because they have a search box where you can look for stuff there. And then that way you can make sure that, within YouTube's limits, that you're expressing yourself in the way that you want to, but you're kind of you might be holding back. You might need to hold back. I don't know exactly what it is that you're going to be saying, but you might, after reading the rules, you might be like, okay, well, there's, certain, lines that I can't cross.
Can I add something to this?
Totally. Yeah.
I'm Generation X. I am not politically correct in any way, shape, or form. All of my friends would agree. He would agree.
Yep.
I am not politically correct in any way, shape, or form.
Yes.
I'm probably on the farthest end of being politically correct. However, I'm trying to build something on YouTube, and I'm not trying to alienate my audience.
Yes.
Now, I don't have a personality-driven channel, and there's the difference. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. I don't know what you're trying to build. If I had a video podcast or a podcast where I was just expressing my views and opinions, just keeping up on what's going on, reacting to the news or what's happening in politics or whatever, I might let some of that stuff fly.
Yeah.
But because I'm trying to help people accomplish their goals and learn the things that they want to learn, that's part of what I'm building.
Yeah.
And I don't want to alienate people who, I don't want to offend anyone,
Right.
because and this is a decision you have to make as a creator. It's more important to me to be brand friendly so I can work with brands and help pay my bills, right? Help me make a living doing this, and so that I can reach a broad audience. If I made content that others found offensive, I would limit the amount of people who might want to watch my content. I know people watch my content who feel the same way I do. We've hung out on Twitch before, and we have politically incorrect conversations on another platform.
Yep.
But when it comes to my main brand, I want to be family friendly, and I want to be brand friendly, and I want you to know as a viewer that you could sit there and watch my content with your children. You could sit there and watch your content even if you're not politically correct. You can watch my content if you're running a church group, right? I don't want to alienate anyone. I want to help you learn the tools. I want to help you succeed on the platform, and that's more important to me on this channel than trying to fully express how I communicate all the time. Yeah. But that's my choice as a creator for what I'm building right here, right? If I had a personality-driven channel, I might be totally different. Right. So just to piggyback on what he said, just be careful so you don't cross the lines in terms of hate speech or you say things.
Nothing that'll get you banned.
Nothing that'll get you banned. Yeah. And I think there's truth to being authentic if you have a personality-driven channel. There's truth to that. People will resonate with that. Like, oh, you just keep it real all the time. I think exactly like you do. We're on the same page. People gravitate towards that. But I just wanted to share my experience because it's a personal experience, or it's a personal choice you have to make as a creator. Yeah. And because I'm in the education space, that's just the choice that I made. Who knows? Maybe I would grow faster if I didn't do it that way. But I never want a scenario where somebody says, D, I had to stop watching your videos because I'm sitting down to watch it with my children. Right. And you're saying things that I don't want my kids to hear or whatever. Right. So I try to balance that out, but you do whatever. Look.
Yeah, and Doug also says, Doug says Gary Vee is doing just fine. Yeah. There's also examples like that, to where, people, resonate with that. Some people are like, great, this guy's like saying all this stuff, all that stuff, and, all that stuff. And people like that because, it comes across, a little bit more authentic.
Yeah.
And I also like what Shark Scrapper says here. He says old school usually just means rude, but you can also mean brutally honest. You don't have to be rude to be honest. We can choose how to be honest and how to communicate just in general.
Yeah, I'm a huge believer, in First Amendment rights if you're in the U.S., freedom of speech and all of that. I don't think anybody should be censored on how you want to communicate.
Yeah.
You just have to play it smart, and you have to think about, what am I trying to build?
Yeah, what am I trying to build, and how am I trying to present myself to the world?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're trying to build something and your goal is, I want to make money and I'm trying to work with particular brands, you have to think about, do my values, the values that I'm communicating through my videos, will that align with the brands that I'm trying to work with?
Right.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Right. Like in Gary Vee's case, he's just using, his social media to drive revenue to his companies.
Right.
So in his case, he doesn't have to worry about those sorts of things because he's just driving people to his companies, and he's using that to connect with people that are perfectly fine with that, right? Because that's just how he operates.
Yeah. So just think, just sit down and think about your big picture. What am I trying to build, and will the things that I say, could they get in the way of the thing that I'm trying to build? And that's a decision you're going to have to make. You'll be fine either way. Just try to think big picture.
Yeah, and right here, Ace in the Hole says, I used to watch a finance channel, but they, for some reason, started a lot of cursing. Totally misplaced. I quit watching. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And they say that your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So, I think that when it comes to those types of things, I think that, if you are, if you kind of, let that guard down, so to speak, you're going to, connect with other people that are into that. If you are trying to be family friendly, then you're going to be, connect with other people that are like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to, the family friendly thing works for me because I can listen with my kids or whatever the thing is.
There's room for everyone.
Right.
Some people have monetized polarization, and they're doing incredibly well by doing that. So you really just need to think through what am I trying to do here, and then do that.
Yep.
You'll be fine either way. Just don't violate any community guidelines.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Go to YouTube, look at their community guidelines, look at the things where they say that would violate community guidelines, and don't talk about any of that stuff.
Yep, and like Valentine Station says, don't be a meanie.
Yeah, don't be a meanie. Yeah, you can be politically incorrect and still be cool. And still be still come across as like, oh yeah, they're fine.
Right.
I don't agree with them, but they're fine.
Bashy180SX, they upload when they have time, but on YouTube for a year or more. The type of channel is that they will be doing personal challenges, so I'm guessing they haven't started yet. The goal is to be a full-time content creator, and the question is, I want to focus on YouTube. However, my Instagram shorts have recently blown up to 10 million views, 100,000 followers in 5 days. How do I ride that momentum and translate some of that traffic over to my YouTube channel? So what you want to do is keep crushing it over on Instagram, and then in addition to that, make sure that you have a link tool in your Instagram bio that will also include a YouTube link. So people that are into your content there, if they're like really into it, then they can click on that link and then they can go over to your YouTube channel. If you need one of those, there's a tool called Tube Spanner. We talk about them a lot here on the stream. Tube Spanner has a free, this is part of their free plan, but it's like a link in bio tool to where basically you can add like a channel profile picture, like a little blurb. You can add images in there if you want. You can put a video in there if you want, but you can list out like all of the different places where people can find you. So if you are trying to get people from Instagram to TikTok and to YouTube and all that stuff, then by having one of those, it just makes it easy for the people that are into your content enough to explore your profile because they want more. It makes it easy for those people to find you on other platforms they frequent as well. I've actually found a nice handful of creators through that on Instagram, on TikTok, to where I'm like, oh man, I wonder if they have a YouTube channel so I can see them on YouTube as well. And then I'll hit their bio, I'll see one of those links, I'll click on it, and I'll be like, okay, they're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, so let me follow them there. Or if I'm trying to find them on YouTube, and I'm like, oh sweet, they got a YouTube channel, and then I'll find them that way. So that's just a really clean way to do it. If you have your own website, then you can build your own as well. So on mine, I've just recently updated mine to use my own, just so I can feature, specific things. But my site is just mobile optimized. So if you hit that, then you see like the list of, different things there. But yeah, so that's a good way to do that. So next up, we've got 967 Andy. They upload when they have time. They do fishing content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, have you looked at the new option in YouTube Studio to stream horizontal and vertical at the same time? Yes. And we did that, I believe, last weekend, but I didn't do it this time. So I will be doing that more, but with this particular setup, it just doesn't work. So right now, until we can fully customize everything over there, because YouTube right now, they're just like if we were to, I've got like a media thing in here. Hold on, I can kind of show you. Yeah, so what YouTube is doing right now is they are essentially doing this, right? And with this, and you can see my personal notes on here, right? So this, if I'm recording any like shorts or anything like that, like at home, and I'm doing it through my regular setup, I have this overlay that I put into StreamYard, and I use it as a monitor so that I can just make sure I'm in the right spot and all that stuff. And then I know exactly where I'm going to crop everything, so I can make sure, I can kind of get down and make sure I'm in the right position, when I'm doing it. And I have my notes to smile and to get to the point. But this is pretty much what YouTube is doing, is they're saying like, okay, this is, the part that you see. And for this right now, it works. But when we go to the wide shot, it doesn't work, because then you just see like the desk logo in the middle, and then you see like the TV going, but you can't see D or me. So because of that, it just doesn't currently work that great for the layout. But for some stuff that I'm going to be doing at home here in 2026, I'll be using it a lot more over there. Let's see here. So next up, Tom Nash, what's going on, dude? Hope you are doing great. Nice to see you in here. The party can now commence. It says, sorry I'm late. It was hard. I'm glad that you started without me. Yeah, it was difficult. It's always difficult, but hey, now you're here. Party started. We are ready to rock and roll, which is a win. So the next question that we have here is from Ace in the Hole. Ace in the Hole does bi-weekly content, but on YouTube for less than a year. They do beginner financial tips. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, what are key indicators of getting decent views, yet subs seem to be low? So what can happen there is if you are getting decent views, but your subscribers are low, that means that the content that you're making isn't resonating at a deep enough level with people, or there's not getting the value out of it to where they are wanting to subscribe, or that the content is so good that they're just involved in the content and they're not thinking about subscribing. You're not reminding them to subscribe in any way, shape, or form. That can happen too. So when it comes to that, it could be either one, in terms of, they're just not into it enough to where they want to subscribe, or you're just not reminding them to subscribe. Since you're not reminding them to subscribe, then they're just into the content. They're not thinking about it. They get to the end of the video, and then YouTube's like, hey, here's another video. And then they go and watch that video, and then, and then YouTube just kind of recommend them your videos, and they'll come and watch from there. Let's see here. Jennifer, that's funny. Says, drink some water. Chantel isn't here to tell you to hydrate. Yeah, I'm going to right here in a second when D gets back. So next up, we've got... Jerry says that he's noticed a steep decline in subscriber rate, and I'm suspecting it's an impact from UI changes. Yeah, it could be. I've also seen that, but, on the flip side, I've also seen, plenty of channels that are also, crushing on that side of things. So I think it goes, in any direction, really there. So let's see here. So next up, we've got Anime Universe Y. They do daily content. They do anime reaction mashups. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I want to increase my subscription. Okay, you want to get more subscribers. Yeah, so if you want to get more subscribers on your YouTube channel, I think the last thing that we just talked about, kind of makes that clear. But it, like if people are enjoying the content, they're going to subscribe. If you're prompting them to subscribe and they're enjoying the content, they're going to subscribe more. If they're not getting into the content, or if you're being inconsistent with what it is that you're offering, things like that, then they'll subscribe and unsubscribe. If you are, like right now, In this particular case on the anime universe Y, and I'm just going to pull this up here real quick. So right now you're focusing on the wrong things. So right now you are focusing on like, how do I get more people to subscribe? But what you need to be focusing on right now is how do I get people to respond to my videos better? That's what you need to be focused on right now. Because like what you're doing right now, like just if you think from a scale perspective, in terms of out of 262 views, X amount of these people right here, X amount of these people are going to, get past the first 30 seconds of the video. From there, X amount are going to get past the, half of the video. Well, we're at 58 seconds, so people are probably going to get through these relatively quick, actually. But even at 58 seconds, at certain parts of the video, you're going to have certain percentages of people that are getting through it. As people are wanting to subscribe, those people are probably going to be the people that have actually gotten something out of the content. So because of that, I wouldn't be worried about subscribers right now. I'd be worried about getting these numbers up so that you can be in front of more people, so that when you do start asking for subscribers and stuff, that it works out, works out for you. And yeah, somebody mentioned here, Build and Fix with Mooney said the thumbnails are busy. They are extremely busy thumbnails. Yeah, like you have more things to work on right now than worrying about subscribers. So here's the thing. When you are trying to grow a YouTube channel, like everybody wants more subscribers, but like when you are trying to grow a YouTube channel, the thing that you got to make sure that you're thinking of is instead of putting the cart before the horse and saying, I want to get subscribers, think to yourself, what can I make that people are going to enjoy so much that they're going to want to subscribe to the channel so that they can be likely to get more content from me? What is that? Right? Like, what is it that I can make? So instead of putting it on like, hey, I want, think about it like, okay, what can I offer that is going to add enough value to people, be entertained or whatever the thing is, that they're going to want to subscribe to what it is that I'm doing. Right. So you're just kind of flipping the perspective on that. But in your case specifically, though, I would do that. And then I would also, work on the deeper problems that you have, which is, working on the actual, counts of view counts themselves. Returning viewers are underrated. 100%. They are. So really quick, says, what are your thoughts on submit your song to AI? I'm not sure what that is. Submit your song to AI. And who is your best, and see who is your best audience? Yeah, so for song, are you saying like just upload your music and have AI tell you who your audience is? Yeah, like with that, I believe that you should figure that out first. So, like when you, like we have, like for example, inside of Tuber School, we've got like a whole thing that you got to go through on understanding at a deep level, not just like, okay, like I just want to get, views on my YouTube videos, but like at a deep level, understanding like what it is that you're actually trying to do, and a process that you're going to be going through to help you like really uncover those things. And then from there, we move you into like, the avatar in terms of understanding who it is that you're, actually trying to reach with your content, how you can connect with them in the best ways and all that. So yeah, like just those two parts alone are a big deal. But in terms of, uploading it to AI and just letting the AI, do that, you should be doing that. You should be doing that first. Because if you do that first, then you design everything around, what it is that you're trying to do and who it is that you're trying to do it for. Right. So that's the approach that you want to think about.
Valentine Station says, is Tuber School going to have a thumbnail class or module?
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. And we'll be giving
lots of stuff in that.
Lots of feedback on thumbnails too, to kind of help you figure out, how to craft the thumbnails, thumbnail psychology, trial and error. Try this. Okay, let's tweak it. Let's work on this. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So next up, okay, we got anime covered here. So next up, we've got. Did you hear that?
Did you hear?
It was like somebody dropped something.
Yes.
Okay. So next up, we've got Huveo Abba. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I apologize if I am not.
Hold on real quick. Kathy, we don't have that set up yet. We haven't actually discussed that. Right now, for the pre-enrollment, it's just the payment, but we can have that conversation to see if that's something that we can Yeah, I don't even know how to set
Yeah,
that
I know
up.
somebody else has already used a different platform for that.
Have they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
So
outside of Stripe, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Someone
Yeah.
needs to. Beanie, did you hear that?
Yep.
He said someone dropped the mic.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I don't
Love
know if
it.
you guys heard
Love
that. It was a really loud noise.
Yeah.
You know what it sounded like? Somebody drug like a heavy chair.
Oh, that might have been what it was.
Yeah.
So Huveo Abba, I hope I'm saying that correctly. They do daily content, but on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do philosophical, theological, and spiritual discussions. Goal of the channel is connect with others who like what they like, and they say, "What am I doing right or wrong?" Okay, let's do it.
What am I doing right or wrong?
Yep.
I love that. Hey, I got a super chat. Thanks, Charlie. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Midnight Madness 4x4. Thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate it. 4.
Neil says, I think Nick missed my super chat question.
Oh, did I? Give me 1 second. Let
Yep,
me
we'll
go in here.
We'll
Let
get
me
to you here in a
double
moment,
check.
Neil. Monique says it could have been a body. It's possible.
It might have. I mean, you never know.
You know,
right? Never know.
It is possible. We could technically be in one of those what is that building in Hong Kong? Chongqing.
Sure.
I think it's called like Chongqing Mansion or something like that in Hong Kong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It's like a notorious building for like the worst stuff that happens. I think it's Chongqing Mansion.
Oh yeah, I have no idea. I didn't even know.
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
it's like a notorious.
Of course
building.
you would know that. Of course.
I used to live a different life.
Of course.
Right.
Right.
Not only am I politically incorrect, I used to have a room in Chongqing Mansion.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
So Neil Urban Van Life says, I'm thinking of a shorts channel about our 4 dogs in van life, but use AI to make the dogs talk about trips and adventures. Can this be done? 100% it can be done. I actually made a demo, and I don't know if I'll be able to find it quick enough here, but I'm just going to use my search and see how smart Apple's AI is. I'm just going to do dogs podcast. Got it right here. Why does it say no results? It just pulled up there. Dogs. Hold on. There it is. So you can't see this in its entirety, of course, but basically my dog Popcorn, I don't know if you can see this or not. There you go. So yeah, so basically I made one with him and another dog just for fun, just because I saw some videos, of people doing that sort of thing on, I think it's either Instagram or TikTok or something.
Are they lip syncing here?
And
or
I
are
was
they,
like,
what are they doing?
oh yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, actually, yeah. There's like a voice behind them, and they're having like a little bit of a conversation, and they like break out in hysterics. Like it's kind of funny. But yeah, you can absolutely do that. So the easiest way to do it is take photos of your dogs, upload those photos to Nano Banana. Inside of Nano Banana, especially with the new one, it's like incredible now, and it was already incredible. But upload your videos upload the images into, or upload the photos into Nano Banana. Put the dogs into whatever scenario that you want to put them in inside of Nano Banana. You can even get different angles if you want to. So, like that was a wide angle shot, but you can also say, okay, now give me like a single side angle shot, like this was like a real production, whatever, and then it'll give you that shot, and then do the same thing for like the other dogs that are going to be in the show, and then from there you can load all of that stuff into Sony or Google Huveo and have Huveo put it all together for you with whatever script it is that you put in there. So yeah, you can absolutely do that.
You could probably do this inside of Higgsfield too, I bet.
Probably. I'm not sure, but probably.
I know
Yeah.
Higgsfield has a lip sync session or section. I don't know if it will work with animals. I'm guessing it will. And 11 Labs now has a lip sync area for their video, but 11 Labs is kind of expensive for burning up tokens for that. But I haven't tried it with an animal.
Yeah. And Build and Fix with Mooney, thanks for the super chat, man. Says, I will be the third wheel of Starbucks. Nice. Love it. Oh, love it.
Oh, somebody this is it right there. Chatty Cathy. Chungking. That's what it is.
Okay.
Chungking Mansions.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. It's my understanding that after China took over Hong Kong, they've kind of cleaned it up a little bit. But prior to that, it was pretty rough. A lot of crime took place in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually showed up there. I ran across it one time. And even outside, I've been to some crazy places.
Of course you did. Of course you ran across it. His story, you guys don't know this about D. I know some of it kind of trickles out here during this stream, but D has so many amazing stories. He's done so much cool stuff. He's traveled all over the place. He's been in all of these just crazy scenarios.
Crazy scenarios.
Yeah, like he has just amazing. He's just completely filled with amazing stories of just all the situations that he's gotten himself into.
Yeah. So I ended up outside of Chungking Mansion.
How did you end up outside of Chungking Mansion?
I don't know. I think it was accidental. Like I wasn't going there looking for something, but I went up there and there were the people that were hanging out outside. It made me feel uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah. Like they were like you might be in danger radar went like poof off. Like they were shady looking people. And I usually
Do you watch Stranger Things?
Man, I'm struggling to get through that.
Oh,
The new season?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, where his
all the hairs in the back of his neck.
Yeah. Like that's what was happening when you were approaching the place.
Yeah. Shark Striker, how many times has Dee been held at gunpoint? We got taken off.
We got held at gunpoint together.
In Venezuela.
I know you were held at gunpoint in I think it was Colombia.
Yeah.
Right.
Twice. Twice in Colombia.
You've never been held at gunpoint here that I'm aware
I got
of.
shot at by military in Bangkok.
Oh, that's right.
I got pinned down by sniper fire.
Yep. I don't know if they were shooting at you
Well,
specifically. They're shooting at the group. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we had to hide behind a dumpster, and they were like shooting at people.
Yeah. So we'll qualify that though. I mean that's even worse I think than having it pointed at you.
Yeah.
What else? Is there any more?
Gunpoint. Twice in Colombia.
Twice in Colombia.
3 times in Colombia.
Okay, so that's up to 5.
3 times in Colombia, once in Venezuela, shot at in Bangkok.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're at 5.
And that's just
way more than most people.
And that's just firearms.
Yep. And that's with zero military experience or involvement. Yeah.
That's just firearms.
Yeah.
And that's not even talking about knives or hypodermic needles or just clubs, weapons.
Just being threatened and robbed.
And I felt uncomfortable outside of Chungking Mansion.
Yep. Hey Joe, what's up, man? Hope you're doing great. So the next channel here that we are
Niminati 07. That's my thing.
All right. So
Mom, if you're listening to this, none of that was true.
But if you're not, it was totally true. Yeah. She was actually on the Venezuelan bus with us. She knows that one's true.
Okay, yeah. So our mother, we'll
save that. Let me do this here really quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, pull it back up here.
Yeah, it's back.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far off track here. Okay. So basically the question here is what am I doing right and what am I doing wrong? The very first thing is you need to publish more content. So you're just getting started. You published, 16 hours ago. The other video that you have on here is from 10 years ago for long form. And let's see what it is that you are doing with shorts. Okay, so it looks like this is about an eagle. This is about some inspirational thing. And at age 12, he would astound teachers. Well, and this is like a religious thing. So the very first thing is I would just get clear on what it is that you're offering. Like right now, you just have the one video here for long form, and then when it comes to shorts, you have some different things here. So the origin of frustration, and then you have, religious stuff. So I would figure out who it is that you're trying to reach with all this stuff. That would be step one, so that you can consistently talk about things that people enjoy. Here's where that's important, or that people resonate with. Here's where that's important. So if I interact with your content and I'm like, wow, this is really good. And then I swipe, keep on moving, and I'm talking about shorts here, and I keep on moving, and then you show up again, and I have that little connection in my brain, I think I've seen this guy before, but I just watch it, and then I'm like, oh, that was really good. You've done that to me twice. And then YouTube's going to be like, hey, they really are, they seem to like this, so then they're going to try to show me more. And then every time you show up, as long as you're talking about topics that I resonate with, then the more that you show up, you're going to start building trust with me. And when you start building that trust with me, then anytime you show up, I'm going to pause once I realize it's you because I've seen you enough and experienced the content enough. When it shows up, just by seeing your face, I'm going to be like, oh, this is probably going to be good. And I'm just going to stop and I'm going to hear you out with whatever it is that you have to say. So when it comes to mix matching your content, where we're going to talk about philosophy here, we're going to talk about religion here, we're going to talk about the frustration over here, then what you start doing is you start making it to where there isn't a clear path for people to enjoy every video that you're publishing or majority of the videos that you're publishing. So because of that, I would narrow all of that stuff down and just get clear on what it is that you're offering and who it is that you're trying to offer it for. There's tons of nuance in that, but that's what you need to work on.
There you go.
Next up.
Next.
We've got K&J Lumber. Did they hit it? I got to go look because I know they're like 30 away.
30 away from 10,000.
Yeah. Not yet. Not yet. Getting close though.
Hey,
getting close.
KMH family, how you doing?
So, 1 time per week or more is their upload schedule. KMH family, what's going on? Hope that you are doing great. The type of channel here is educational, learning, and edutainment content. Mm-hmm. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I wear many hats at the company. My boss and partner in this channel wants to revamp the website, etc. What would eat up a lot of time that would take away from making videos? Being so close to 10,000 subscribers, can we take a break for 1 month from publishing? Even though we're close to 10,000, it doesn't feel like we're making a connection with any particular person. How do I build a stronger community? So when it comes to building, so we're gonna kind of break this down into 2 different questions here. So the very first one is, if you take a break for a month, is it going to hurt your channel? So if you have active viewership on your channel, you should be okay if you take a month break. But I would try to not basically try to make the break as short as you can, within reasons. Because after a certain period of time, like if you don't have a lot of activity happening on your channel, like when you take breaks, then in that case you're going to all of the people that currently interact with your content, and you can go and look and see how many viewers are coming back to the channel. For those people, when you stop publishing, then those people, can go and start getting, more involved with somebody else. In addition to that, the more other channels that they, start consuming more, those are going to start becoming priorities for those channels for YouTube, because those are recently what it is that they're engaging with more. So of course, if somebody enters your channel, they enjoy your content, YouTube's also going to be recommending your archive. But if your archive isn't strong, then in that case, you really need to lean on the new videos in order to keep that whole thing moving, right? So because of that, taking a break can be fine, but just keep in mind, the longer that break gets, the longer period of time that you have where you're not in somebody's recent viewer history, which then after a certain period of time starts making it a little bit more challenging to reach people. And then when you publish a video, it's like this anyway, but it's just a little bit more intense then, because you haven't recently had, the volume of people interacting with the channel that you did before. So then that video that you make when you come back has to be extra good so that it can break through, the core viewers, and then it can go out into casual viewers and so on, to where, it kind of penetrates through those initial groups, when you publish the video. So because of that, if you have a strong archive, then you can do it and not really skip a beat. But if you don't have a strong archive of videos that are kind of driving the channel and have regular viewership, then in that case, I would just take the break, because you have to, right? But I would just try to get back as fast as you can. And then you said you were thinking about scheduling some low effort videos to keep the algo happy. Don't think about the algorithm per se. That is what we were just talking about. But think about it through the lens more of the viewers. So when you're thinking of it, let me publish some low effort content, that low effort content might resonate with the viewers. I don't know, your audience, but that might resonate with your viewers. But if you're putting out something for the sake of publishing, but not necessarily something that you think your core viewers would enjoy, then you could be working against yourself there as well. So it's not necessarily about, I'm going to put out this video for the sake of the algorithm. It's like, I'm going to put out this video because I think that the viewers that I'm trying to reach are going to enjoy this, even though it might not be as long as the other videos I publish, or maybe not as detailed, or maybe, it's me just, doing, having just an easier video for me to put together, but it's still going to add the value to them that they're used to getting from me. Then in that case, then you can absolutely do that. And in terms of building a stronger community, so there's a book that I recommend that you read for anybody that's interested in growing like a community. It's called Primal Branding. It's a really good book, and it's an old book. There's a new, more modern version of it made by a guy called Pat Flynn. Some of you might be familiar with him already, but his is called Superfans. Both of those are excellent books around building communities. But the whole idea is that for people that grow communities, there's very specific things that they do. This is why a lot of communities on YouTube, even this one, has like names for their communities. And one of the things, and we're going to be talking about this in Tuber School too, but one of the things with that is it gives the viewers a sense of identity in some way. I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm, that, but it's like, like it is though, right? So it gives people that sense of identity that helps them connect with that brand. So it's not like I'm a viewer, I'm an insider because I'm that, right? So for the people here that are Niminati, in that case, like when Vid Summit this year, for example, we had a Niminati meetup. So that is like, hey, if you're in the Niminati, we're having this dinner, and come and join us for this dinner. So then that whole thing is like, okay, well, we're part of the Niminati. So those types of things, in addition to making good content that adds value to people and all that stuff, which you're already doing because you're getting ready to cross 10,000 subscribers. But those types of things are things that you can do to build your brand, or to build the community. And then as a part of that also, you also have like insider language and like all these other things and icons and leaders and like all these other, parts of this, that also, help you build that brand as you start expressing these things in your content.
Bill Mooney says people like to be part of something.
Yeah, we all do. It's our human nature, right? Yeah, 100%. So next up, Who on the Move says that they do, hey, we got member stream in 6 minutes. They do World of Drives. They upload 1 time per week or more. Hey, you might want to try, get like another StreamYard window maybe. Oh, no, we can just flip over, I guess. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But they upload 1 time per week or more. They do travel POV content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And then the question is, so frustrating. I've been systematically working with ChatGPT to optimize a video that has strong average view duration and a killer thumbnail, but I cannot, for anything, raise CTR and or have YouTube push for more impressions. The title has been changed 3 times in the last 2 weeks with at least 24 hours in between in an attempt to soft restart the analytics. Help, what am I missing? So in terms of soft restarting the analytics, so you can't reset the, their system on your video. So when you make changes to your content, what happens is when you update your thumbnail and title, it causes people to respond to the video differently or the same. And when they respond to it the same, then obviously nothing's gonna change. When they respond to it differently, that different could be good or bad, right? And also when it comes to YouTube recommending your content on the platform, the thumbnail or people just clicking on it, because you said that you've changed the thumbnail and title multiple times, that's just one part of the equation, right? Is like, okay, is this a topic of interest? And if it is a topic of interest, then in that case, is this packaged in a way that will, 1, help people identify it's about something that they care about, 2, it is something that people actually care about, and then 3, is it, in terms of the title, is it compelling or interesting to where people would want to click on it? 4, once they do click on it, and this is a big one, what happens when they're actually watching the video content? Do they leave quickly or do they stick around? And those are the things that that make up the whole thing. So right now, if you're not getting impressions, I'm looking at the channel right now and you have Stunning Fall Drive and Newfound Gap Road, the moment to wait for. So a couple things here is when it comes to what you're offering, this type of thing can be okay. Some people do driving channels. Some people do walking channels where they, just take walks and they just have the camera in front of them, things like that. Perfectly fine. Some channels do that. But the problem is you're offering that right after you offered a road trip and another road trip and a thing about, not rushing to Gatlinburg and the hidden river views await in Gatlinburg. So what you're doing right now is you're just kind of mixing what it is that you're offering on the channel. And then we also have this other one about Gatlinburg, like Christmas down here, but you're kind of mixing what it is that you're offering on the channel. So a couple things is, 1, I would try to just be consistent with the offering. So that, 1, YouTube understands who the right people are for your content, because when somebody interacts with it, it's telling YouTube if there's a positive experience. It's telling YouTube that they're a good fit for the video. And for the people that don't, it's telling YouTube that they're not a good fit. So because of that, you want to consistently get a good fit, especially when you're starting, because then YouTube gets super clear on who the right people are for your content. So then when you start publishing, it's just easier for their system to ensure that the right people are seeing the content. So I would work on that sort of thing. And keep in mind, like in your case, you are narrowing this content down. It's Stunning Fall Drive on Newfound Gap Road. So one, I would completely remove the Newfound Gap Road from this because the general public at scale around the world, most people probably don't know about that road. So because of that, I would just completely remove that because it makes it like difficult to be into. Instead, frame the whole thing around the drive. And even with that, you know, from the outside, like I'm just not sure on that particular video in terms of the expressed value, you know, from that. If it's somebody that's into watching, you know, just a drive, then they might, you know, be into that. But for 30 minutes, not sure. Okay, so a couple of things. So just as a heads up, if you are a channel member, we are getting ready to jump over into the members only part of the live stream here.
Just dropped that link in the chat.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So he already dropped it in there for you. So if you're a channel member, click on that link. We're going to see you over there here in just a second. If you are here, if you are somebody that is, you know, you're not getting the results that you want right now, or, you know, you're struggling with YouTube. You're like, man, this just isn't working for me. I encourage you to hang in there, and I encourage you to, I know it can be frustrating, but I encourage you to look at YouTube like a learning curve, because it is, and just acknowledge that it's something new that you know, that you're still trying to learn. And since it is a learning curve, kind of connect it to, if you start a new job, there's a bunch of things you got to learn about that job. If you start a new hobby, there's a bunch of things you got to learn about that hobby. If you try to, you know, if you try to play a sport or something like that, there's a bunch of things you need to learn there. YouTube is the same exact way. So like if you're struggling right now, it means that there's things that you need to learn and that there's skills that you need to develop. So, you know, focus on those things, because that, like, the more skills that you develop around being a content creator, the easier it is to see the problems that you have, the easier it is to know what to do. So focus on building skills around your YouTube channel, and that's going to help you be able to, you know, do better. But just embrace the idea that I'm learning here, and don't expect everything to go amazingly. And it's hard because you see YouTube showing all this content to you that has tons of views on it, and it's hard to be like, man, these people are getting like millions of views, or hundreds of thousands of views, or tens of thousands of views, or 1,000 views. But like I'm having trouble breaking 100 views or 1,000 views or whatever your limit is. Just look at it like, okay, I just got to keep working on this, got to keep learning, so that I can get further down the learning curve, so I can try to do better on a more consistent basis to achieve whatever goals it is that I'm on YouTube for. But hang in there, you got this. It's tough, but you can do it. Just hang in there, you got this. So D, great stream.
Yep, great stream, everybody.
Yep. And if you are a member, we're going to hop over into the other stream right now. Just as a quick reminder, because we only have 2 days left. If you have not joined the pre-launch for Tuber School yet, this is the school that D and I have made for YouTubers. So if you haven't joined that yet, right now it's 50% off. And because it is a yearly thing, if you continue to be a part of it, you're always going to get that discounted price. So if this is something that you are interested in, we are going to be working with you very closely to help you get the results that you're after on your YouTube channel. So if this is something that you're interested in, you can go ahead and go to tuberschool.com, see all the information about that, and see how we can help you. If you're into it, cool. If not, that's fine too. But if you are, then definitely go ahead and get signed up, because we only have 2 days left on that promotion before the price goes up. So besides that, everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Channel members, we'll see you right here in just a second, and we'll see you next time.